Hello and welcome to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium here at Wenatchee Valley College. I am Kyle Sweeney, he's Angus Trangmo. And Angus, we're here for game 2 of a 2-game stand between the Wenatchee AppleSox and the DubSea Fish Sticks. And we're not going to sugarcoat really what happened last night. It was a 24-2 victory for the AppleSox, who registered 26 hits.
It was such an impressive performance at the plate for the AppleSox. In particular, Tyler Jones and Ethan Marr went 9 for 11 at the plate combined and were responsible for almost 10 runs by themselves. And obviously the rest of the lineup was just as good. One of the bigger blowouts you'll ever see on a baseball field. And
it is windy again today, if you cannot tell already. But right now, for Jaden Mizuno, who's going to be the starting pitcher tonight, and for interim head coach Mark Lynn, the message is just erase what happened yesterday. There's a new game today, but the problem is the AppleSox lineup is eerily similar to what it was yesterday, so it's going to present a tough challenge.
Yeah, 6 of the 9 guys in yesterday's lineup are getting the start today, including Jones and Marr and Kai McGarry, who also had a home run. There were 2 home runs for the AppleSox last night, and they were courtesy of McGarry and Jones. So a really talented team. They obviously proved it last night against the Sticks. So it's going to be a long road for the visiting team, but the Fish Sticks have Mizuno on the bump and a lot of good arms available.
So here we go, game 2. The Fish Sticks looking for revenge after last night's big loss. First pitch just moments away.
You ever wonder how Crispy gets to the fryer for games? He uses King County Metro's Rapid Ride H-Line. King County Metro, the official commute of your DubSea Fish Sticks.
For over 15 years, As You Wish Electric has offered the comprehensive electrical solutions Seattle families trust. We are proud to announce that we can now also serve your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. As we grow, we are committed to delivering the same knowledgeable and friendly experience that earned our spot as the region's top-rated electrical company. Contact As You Wish Electric, Plumbing, Heating, and Air today to learn more.
We are here in Wenatchee for game 2 of the 2-game stand between the DubSea Fish Sticks and the Wenatchee AppleSox, who had quite the destruction last night. It was a 24-2 victory, but right now the Fish Sticks, a brand new day and a brand new opportunity to take revenge for last night. Kyle Sweeney and Angus Trangmo with you. And Angus, a familiar name on the mound for the AppleSox to start. It's Ty Skyleman, whose brother was the starter yesterday.
His brother Joe only went 2 innings yesterday, and now Tyler gets the ball in the second game of the series. Both of them going to go play at Montana State University Billings in the spring. Go Yellow Jackets, about 5.5 hours east of us in the Bitterroot Valley. But Joe Skyleman was good, and Tyler Skyleman, another member of the family. Both of them pitched at Georgia Gwinnett College last spring. So these guys are like 2 peas in a pod, and they start back-to-back days today.
So the AppleSox will have the same lineup essentially. 6 of the 9 guys, as we mentioned, will stay in the lineup the same as yesterday's game. But for the Fish Sticks, it's a pretty different lineup, especially at the top, but it's the names that we expect to see. So Rylan Gollard, Riley Sonoy, and Evan Hellner will lead things off here in the top of the first, and then Jake Rolling, Braden Bartholomew, and Vaughn Lowe will follow, and then Cade Galen, Tyler Eisenhut, and Noah Kuhn will finish off the lineup. But this is a guy, Rylan Gollard, who, except for last night's game, we have seen at the leadoff spot in every single game this summer.
Yeah, got his big day off yesterday and then had to come in and pitch in the bottom of the 8th inning. So he has played in every game, if you want to look at it technically, but a 14-game hit streak coming into this one.
Hit .329 at Linfield University last year, is hitting .333 to begin this summer. He fouls away strike one from Skyleman. So as you mentioned, 14-game hitting streak. That's all 14 games he's played in as a Fish Stick this summer, so has collected at least 1 hit in every appearance. Been the most consistent bat. Also leads the team in RBIs at the leadoff spot. That's not something you see very often. Here's the 0-1 count from Skyleman, and Gollard hits this to deep right center field. It's going to be caught out there by McGarry, and there'll be one away. Again, the window factor once again here tonight. That's the part of the park you want to hit it to, but McGarry was camped under it.
Yeah, it's going to be blowing that same direction today as it did yesterday. Gollard just a little too far under that one, and it's a quick out for Skyleman.
So that'll bring up Riley Sonoy, who we saw just for one at-bat yesterday, but he had 4 RBIs against the Pippins a couple of days ago. Skyleman fires in. The 0-0 is upstairs for ball 1.
Sonoy has been so good as of late. Obviously a cold stretch to start the season, but we think it was a ball that he just tattooed in BP that ended up turning around his season about a couple weeks ago.
Here's the 1-0 from Skyleman to Riley Sonoy. This one's dribbled foul. So a 1-1 count now to Sonoy. And what you're mentioning, it was BP. He was hitless his first 8 appearances, or 8 plate appearances of the season, and then he absolutely murdered a ball in batting practice, which is by far the farthest ball we've seen hit in practice, and since then has really stepped up this game, hovering right around 300 batting average this season. And that one just catches the inside corner for strike 2, so 1-2 count to Sonoy.
We saw a big zone yesterday, especially in that exact lane on the inside half of the left-hand batter's box. That was getting called for a lot of strikes last night.
So Sonoy struggled at Pierce College last year, struggled to start the summer, but has really been heating up recently, but he swings and misses at strike 3. Skyleman, 2 quick outs here in the top of the first.
Yeah, and he gets a chase out of Sonoy right there. The Fish Sticks, I mean, they're being a little less aggressive on first pitches, at least in the early stages of this one. They offered a lot of first pitches yesterday, and they were able to hold off the first 2 times around today.
The Fish Sticks struck out 14 times in last night's loss. That'll bring up Evan Hellner, one of the lone bright spots last night. He was 4 for 5, hitting in the cleanup spot. Here he is at the 3-hole, and he went around for strike 1 on that off-speed pitch.
I'm not even sure he went around. I think that pitch was just placed so well by Skyleman it didn't even matter.
So Hellner is 10 for his last 17. He is hitting .481 in 27 plate appearances this summer, as that another off-speed pitch finds the corner for strike 2 from Skyleman.
We said this a lot yesterday, but righties are really assisted, especially by the gusts that just came through here on their breaking pitches with the direction the wind is blowing here in Wenatchee.
0-2 just lunged at. This one's dribbled to first base. The first baseman, Ethan Marr, will collect it and step on first for out number 3. So 1-2-3 inning for Skyleman. Quick work in the top of the first, and we'll see the AppleSox for the first time in the bottom of the inning.
Wendy's went back to the kitchen to give our famous spicy chicken sandwich a total upgrade. More crunch, more flavor, with heat that just hits. Is this our best spicy chicken ever? Looks like a yes to me. Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
They always say, think happy thoughts. It's easy when you're a Wendy's Cookie Dough Frosty Fusion. I'm an instant dopamine hit. Get it? Dopamine? Like cookie dough. I said like cookie dough! Happiness is a Cookie Dough Frosty Fusion at Wendy's.
Oh, Audrey, look over there.
Where? Oh, a whole herd of reindeer beers.
Not herds, Audrey. Rainier's come in 6-packs.
Oh,
Wake up, Harley.
Harley, look at the reindeers. Oh, they're just so fresh and friendly.
Back here in Wenatchee for the bottom of the first. Fish Sticks could not put up anything in the top of the inning. It is still 0-0 here at Wenatchee Valley College Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Another beautiful but windy night here in Game 2 of the 2-game homestand. And Jaden Mizuno out. He will be the starter, his 6th appearance, but first start of the summer for the Sticks.
Yeah, he's been a length guy out of this bullpen. Some of the longer outings we've seen out of the Fish Sticks bullpen this season, and he's collected 9 innings of work and put together a 3 ERA in the early stages. We only saw one lefty for either team yesterday, and Mizuno, the lefty, gets the ball for DubSea.
You talked about it and mentioned it in the top of the first, but you can hear the wind and the gusts. We're up to 30 miles an hour yesterday. They are around the same spot today, and for the lefty in Mizuno with the wind blowing left to right, that's going to hinder his off-speed pitch a little bit.
It really is. We saw Ryder Peterson come in and have his worst outing of the year by far yesterday. And Peterson, the lefty, it just didn't look like he had the same pitch mix as he usually does. So I'm interested to see how Mizuno handles Mother Nature today in Wenatchee.
So Zach Doyle, Kai McGarry, and Tyler Jones will lead things off. Doyle did not play yesterday, one of the 3 in the lineup today that didn't play yesterday, but McGarry and Tyler Jones are 2 guys that the Fish Sticks are pretty familiar with after their humongous games last night. So Doyle hails from UC Irvine, another one of the D1 guys in the lineup, will face off against Mizuno, left on left to start it off, and Mizuno hit him in the shoulder to start off the game, so Doyle will take his base.
Yeah, Doyle was set up really far inside on the plate. I was going to say that after that pitch regardless, and Mizuno just lets go of that one a little early. Now Kai McGarry, who hit a homer in his first time up yesterday, comes up with a runner on.
So McGarry, the ASU product, hit 300 or almost 300 last season in 25 games for a really good Arizona State team. Was 3 for 6 yesterday, and that included that home run in the first inning. He takes a look at strike 1 from Mizuno.
You're going to see a lot of fastballs from Mizuno. Not the biggest guy, standing at 5'6", 165, but some pretty sneaky zip for the lefty out of Hawaii.
Here's the 0-1 incoming from Mizuno. Just touches the zone on the outside corner. He's ahead 0-2 to McGarry.
So far, the inside half for a lefty, outside half for a righty has behaved the same as it did all of last night. Pretty expanded out there.
0-2 ahead to McGarry, who had 2 RBIs, but did strike out 3 times yesterday in that 3 for 6 performance. And this one catches a piece. The off-speed gets away from Mizuno and hits McGarry, who will hustle to first. He was also hit by a pitch yesterday. So Mizuno has hit the first 2 batters.
That's a shame because he started McGarry off with 2 really good pitches, and he tries to go off speed and hooks it, and really in the same spot it hit Doyle on the first batter, just a mirror for the lefty Doyle and the righty McGarry, and constant pressure for the AppleSox yesterday, and already they've got runners on second and first and nobody out.
So that'll bring up Tyler Jones from Oregon, but transferring to Portland. He takes a look at ball 1 high from Mizuno. Jones was the player of the game yesterday, was 5 for 6 with a couple of RBIs and scored all 6 times he was aboard. He also walked in the game, and he showed off his skill with the glove at shortstop as well. That's where he's playing today. He does also pitch. Here's the 1-0 from Mizuno, off speed. That's also high for ball 2.
Yesterday was Jones's first game in Wenatchee, a late addition to this team, and he really made his presence felt to the AppleSox faithful yesterday.
So the 2-0 incoming, 2 runners are aboard already, both hit by a pitch to start the bottom of the first. This one's offered and catches the outside corner for strike 1.
That's where Mizuno's going to have to live today. Obviously, an outside pitch is going to get taken to right field by a lot of righties, and the wind's blowing that way, so kind of just a tough break for Mizuno, but even with that taken into account, he's going to have to live outside.
2-1 upstairs again. That's where all 3 balls this at-bat have lived, and it's a 3-1 count with nobody gone.
So far, the AppleSox just picking up right where they left off, but 26 hits last night and still yet to record a hit today. It's 2 hit batsmen for the base runner so far.
Here's the 3-1 from Mizuno. Fastball just catches the top of the zone for strike 2. The count will fill out. Jones didn't like that call, and a payoff pitch incoming from Mizuno.
I have a feeling we're working with a really big zone today based on early indicators from both Skyleman and Mizuno.
Here's the payoff pitch from Mizuno. Takes a long break, fires in. This one's fouled off by Jones. Another one will be on the way.
Jones was such a tough out yesterday. This would be a nice boost for Mizuno after hitting the first 2 batters of the inning.
The only time Jones was retired yesterday was via a strikeout. I can't remember the last time I've seen someone score 6 times in a game. He's 6 of the 24 runs yesterday. Mizuno looks at second base. Another payoff incoming. This gets past Hellner. That'll be ball 4. Doesn't matter. The runners will advance regardless. So the bases are loaded with nobody gone, and Coach DeGallier is going to come out and talk to Mizuno, and trouble is lurking early once again here tonight.
Just a bad case of deja vu already in this game. The Fish Sticks found themselves with runners on every base all the time last night for the AppleSox, and it put the pitchers in a really tough situation. And now Mizuno, who hasn't given up a hit yet today, loads them with nobody out. And this lineup, I mean, it's not even crazy to say it only gets better as it goes down. I mean, obviously you're through McGarry and Jones, but so many different guys in this lineup. Jake Overstreet is on deck. He only had 2 at-bats yesterday, but did record a hit before being taken out for the assistant coach. So this lineup is dangerous, and you don't want to give them free passes onto the bases.
So Jake Overstreet, another representative of the Big 12, a Kansas product, playing for the Jayhawks. He was 1 for 2 last night with a run. He also walked twice before, as you mentioned, he was replaced by an assistant coach for the AppleSox. That's kind of how out of hand it got yesterday. But he's got a big opportunity here, bases loaded, nobody out. Mizuno, first pitch, a little bit high for ball 1. That's where all the pitches that he's missed have really missed at, is above the zone.
And the AppleSox, I mean, they were super disciplined yesterday, but they've done a really good job early today of leaving those be and making Mizuno come to them.
1-0 incoming, bases loaded. Still a tied ball game at 0s. That one's fouled deep into the left field line. Could be an insurance ball for a couple of cars out there, but a 1-1 count.
So yeah, that ball was hit hard. I mean, you can't put into words how hard that ball was hit. It's just Overstreet got a little excited.
So after the Fish Sticks went 1-2-3 in the top of the first, Zach Doyle and Kai McGarry were both hit by a pitch. They're at second and third, and Tyler Jones was walked. He's at first. Overstreet, the 4th batter of the inning. There's nobody gone. The bases are loaded. Here's the 1-1, hit well into center field. The wind's going to push it towards Ryland Gollard in center. This should be an easy run, and it will be. The throw is going to go to third base, but not in time, and already a run through, so it'll be a sac fly for Jake Overstreet. Zach Doyle comes across, 1-0 AppleSox.
Really good contact, just a tad under it for Overstreet to make this a 4-0 ball game, and instead it's 1-0. As any ball that is somewhat into left field is going to get knocked down today, and any ball that is somewhat into right field is going to carry and carry and carry and carry. We saw it a few times yesterday.
Yeah, both home runs from the AppleSox were to right field. The one by Jones looked like a foul out the first few seconds of it, and then just kept tailing and somehow went over the fence for a home run, as that one's ball 1 to Joseph Coupland, who we did not see yesterday, but is a more than capable hitter for this lineup. He's hitting .339. This is his 20th game of the summer, and he has 19 hits through his first 19 games. So he's DHing and hitting in the 5-hole as Mizuno checks over at first base. So 1-0 count, the Sox up 1-0 after a sac fly from Jake Overstreet scored Zach Doyle. So Kai McGarry is at third, Tyler Jones is at first. Here's the 1-0 from Mizuno inside, and he's behind 2 balls to no strikes.
A couple runners on, and Jones very capable of stealing a bag. The AppleSox, something to note, they were not very aggressive on the base paths yesterday, kind of just confident in their hitters at the plate.
Mizuno behind 2-0 in the count, takes a couple checks at first, fires in a fastball that's fouled off down the third base line. The count will be 2-1. So Coupland up for the first time in this 2-game meeting with the Sticks, a runner at third and a runner at first. Already a run played during the first. There was just 1 run in the first inning last night for the AppleSox before 11 runs came across in the next 4 innings. Jones takes off, hit and run scenario right at Rolling at third. A great play from Rolling, and he will make the out at first. So Rolling went to his knees to stop that ball. A great diving stop, and he gets the out at first, but Coupland's going to drive in another run. It is 2-0 AppleSox.
That is such a difficult play for Rolling, especially that this grass moves pretty fast. It's kind of a gift that he plays on turf on his home field, because if he plays on natural grass, he probably doesn't make that play. But that ball moved like it was on the turf, and he might have been able to come home and get McGarry, but instead he gets the free out. Also a heads-up play by Bartholomew to come off the bag, catch the throw, and then apply the tag.
A generous strike for Jaden Mizuno on the first pitch of the at-bat to Ethan Marr. And if not for Tyler Jones yesterday, Ethan Marr would have been the player of the game, hitting right behind him in the 6-hole yesterday. He was 4 for 5 with 5 runs. A couple eye-popping statistics from last night's box score will pop out at you as Mizuno fires in ball 1.
Yeah, the fact that he put up those numbers and he wasn't even the best hitter in the lineup just kind of speaks to how last night's game went. And obviously 10 runs in the 8th, with some of which coming against Ryland Gullard. But even with kind of that blemish at the end of the game, it was dominant regardless.
So the 1-1 upstairs for ball 2 to Ethan Marr. 2 have already come across for the AppleSox here in the bottom of the first. It's 2-0 lead. Tyler Jones is at second base. He was walked as the 3rd batter of the inning. Here's the 2-1 from Mizuno. Off speed in there for strike 2.
I've talked about Mizuno's off speed and how much I like it on the broadcast before, and that's the first time he was really able to locate it today, and it freezes Marr.
So 2-2 incoming with 2 gone. Jones, a lot of speed at second base. Mizuno delivers. This one's popped pretty weakly to Tyler Eisenhut at second. He'll get the 3rd out of the inning. Into the 2nd inning we will go. But the AppleSox continue their offensive domination from last night. They're up 2-0 going into the 2nd inning.
Definitely a different story from last night, though. The AppleSox did not record a hit in that first inning and still were able to plate 2 runs. It was a hit by pitch, a walk, a sac fly, a ground out, and then a pop out that ended the inning. So definitely one of the more interesting frames you'll ever see, but they just get runners on base. Regardless of who's on the mound or what the count is, it doesn't matter. They will find ways on base, and they are picking up right where they left off yesterday.
So 2-0 to the top of the 2nd. It'll be 4-5-6 due up for the Sticks. It'll be Jake Rolling, Braden Bartholomew, and Von Lowe due up. Rolling, this will be just his 9th game of the summer, but right now he has been so impressive.
He has, and obviously it's going to be a smaller sample size than most of the guys in the lineup, but 6 for 15 on the year. He's built an OPS of 1.324, which, you know, it's not sustainable in most cases. In 15 at-bats, he is just raking. He also has a homer to his name and has brought in 7 runs. So a super reliable bat for the Fish Sticks heading to Eastern Washington and going to go play at Gonzaga in the 509 in the spring.
Go Zags. So Rolling really leapt out at Fish Sticks fans with that home run in the 9th inning in a Thursday matchup with the Redmond Dudes. That was the only game that they had lost. It was 10-5 in the bottom of the 9th at that point. But then the very next game, or on Sunday, just a couple of days later against Elevate Northwest, he went 2 for 2 with 4 RBIs in the first 2 innings of the game before being pulled. So a lot of damage to be done in just 2 innings, and had he stayed in that game, the eye-popping stats he's been putting up this summer might be a little bit more inflated. But Skyleman out there for the 2nd inning. His brother went 2 innings yesterday.
Still no motion over in the AppleSox bullpen today, and they definitely had someone getting hot by this point yesterday. So maybe Ty Skyleman intended to throw a few more innings than his brother yesterday.
The AppleSox used 8 pitchers yesterday despite going up and winning 24-2. So it'll be Rolling versus Skyleman, a right-on-right matchup to begin the top of the 2nd inning. The Sticks went 1-2-3 in order in the first as Skyleman delivers fastball inside for strike 1.
It's been pretty fastball-heavy stuff from Skyleman so far, but the Fish Sticks, you can tell that they are trying to see a pitch before they offer at anything, which is a stark contrast from yesterday.
Here's the 0-1 from Skyleman, off speed, misses low for ball 1. And going back to that point, 8 of the first 11 batters in yesterday's game for the Fish Sticks offered at the first pitch of the at-bat. That is not normal and not something that we saw beginning of the summer. There are definitely some players that like to go at the first pitch, but not that majority, as that off speed is slung in there for strike 2. It's a 1-2 count to Rolling.
There's going to be so much run on that, especially when these gusts come up. It is really tough for a hitter to read that ball out of the hand when it is blowing just directly left to right.
Skyleman, the 1-2 off speed, misses outside. It's a 2-2 count. The wind is not going to let up tonight and probably won't for the rest of the night. You can hear it on the broadcast, but Man, it's left to right just as it was yesterday, just as it was a couple days ago in Yakima.
I think he could have thrown that at rolling and it would have missed outside.
So here's the 2-2. Skyleman goes inside with the fastball, and the count will fill up. So rolling the first batter at the top of the second, the Sox with the 2-0 lead after plating 2 in the bottom of the first. Sticks looking to avenge a big loss last night to Wenatchee. Here's the 3-2 from Skyleman, misses outside. That'll be ball 4 and rolling. No stranger to walks this season. He'll garner another one.
There's a reason his OPS is so good, and that's because when he's not getting hits, he is still finding ways on base. It's almost like the AppleSox hitters and how they've played against this Fish Sticks team in the past couple days, just finding any way to get over to first base and then doing damage from there.
That is the 7th walk for rolling in now 8 games played this summer. This is his 8th appearance, not his 9th. He's at first. Skyleman offers up and inside to Braden Bartholomew. Had to turn his head at the last moment to not take it in the helmet. That'll be ball 1. Bartholomew, another guy who's been walking a lot recently after we said it on the broadcast. He had only walked once in 41 plate appearances. He's walked 5 times in the last 4 games. Here's the 1-0. This one's popped straight up in the air. Should be an easy play for Wareham at second. The ball is tailing. It's a little bit more difficult than it should have been, but that'll be out number 1.
Yeah, it almost turns into a big league pop fly with how the wind is blowing today, but Skyleman forcing a lot of chases today, and that is not one of them. Bartholomew had that pitch in the zone, and he just missed it.
So that'll bring up Vaughn Lowe, who's DHing for the Sticks in the 6-hole tonight. Lowe hitting .235 this summer, but had a really hot stretch. He's 1 for his last 13 over the last 5 games, so it's cooled off a little bit. Rolling at first after the walk, Skyleman will check on him, and he'll slide back in safely. So Lowe coming from Tacoma Community College, where he hit over 300 2 years in a row. Again, got real hot in a stretch a couple of weeks ago. Did have a 2 RBI double on Sunday against Elevate Northwest, but is looking to break the slump. That's inside and a 1-0 count.
The thing about Lowe is that he can get hot in a hurry, so really I think all it takes is maybe 1 or 2 hits in a game for him to get back to peak performance.
Lowe has 9 RBIs this season. That's 3rd on the team. Hitting .400 with runners in scoring position as well. This one's grounded towards second base. It could be 2. The flip to short. Jones a rifle to first base, and Lowe grounds into double play. That'll end the inning, so perpetually a 1-2-3 inning for the Sticks. They trail 2-0 going into the bottom of the second.
Once upon a home, in a Seattle bungalow, the Huffs searched on Thumbtack to find their next pro. Now the job is all done, and the table is set. The hot dogs taste better on their fancy new deck. Start your home story on Thumbtack.
For over 15 years, As You Wish Electric has offered the comprehensive electrical solutions Seattle families trust. We are proud to announce that we can now also serve your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. As we grow, we are committed to delivering the same knowledgeable and friendly experience that earned our spot as the region's top-rated electrical company. Contact As You Wish Electric Plumbing, Heating, and Air today to learn more.
Once upon a home in the Issaquah Highlands, the Parkers used Thumbtack for a new kitchen island. Now the pizza is cooking and the kids are excited. Thank goodness for Thumbtack and all it provided. Start your home story on Thumbtack.
7-8-9 due up for the AppleSox. Jaden Mizuno out for another inning of work here in the bottom of the second. It's 2-0 AppleSox after 2 plated in the bottom of the first. Kyle Sweeney and Angus Trangmo with you once again here on the Fish Sticks Network. And Michael Podstellany, another new name, a rare new name in this lineup, will lead things off. Another UC Irvine guy, teammates with the leadoff hitter for the Sox and Zach Doyle.
Yeah, we just wanted to call him Pods just because of that name. Podstrelany is not one you're going to see a whole lot of out in public, but like you said, a new face behind the dish for the AppleSox, and if it's anything like the hitters we've already seen here in Wenatchee, he will be plenty capable.
Mizuno delivers a strike, actually a ball. That was low in the count. We've seen an expanded zone so far. So 1-0 to Pods, as we will call him here on the broadcast. Pods Strelany, again from UC Irvine, another anteater in this lineup. That one's inside for ball 1.
I believe that was ball 2. Yeah, it should be.
It was ball 2. That is correct.
Scoreboard in Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, a little behind the 8 ball right now, but Mizuno's got to be able to find the zone. Already hit a couple guys and issued a walk.
Here's the 2-0 to Pods, is outside for ball 3. So he hit the first 2 batters and walked to the third to start the top of the first, and then a sac fly and a ground out plated 2. That's how the AppleSox are up 2 runs to none. That one's fired inside a zone finder for strike 1, a 3-1 count.
Lefty on lefty matchup favors Mizuno, but any matchup with a lefty pitcher is probably going to favor the hitter today.
Mizuno fires into 3-1, a fastball in there for strike 2. The count will even, or will fill out. So payoff pitching coming from Mizuno, who again didn't allow a single hit last inning. 2 hit by pitches, a walk, grounder, and a sac fly. And that one's up and in for ball 4. So the second walk already for Mizuno, who's struggling a little bit right now with his control at the mound. And that'll bring up Max Patterson.
And you just cannot give this lineup any free passes. The Fish Sticks, I mean, I know Wenatchee scored 24 runs yesterday, but they did a somewhat good job of keeping the walks and the hit batsmen to a low total, and Wenatchee was just able to string together so many hits yesterday that it turned into a cosmic beatdown. But already 2 walks and 2 hit by pitches from Mizuno. That's not going to work.
Fires in strike 1 to Max Patterson from Northwest Nazarene in Idaho. He was yesterday's beer batter. That is not the case here tonight. Here's the 0-1, fired in there for strike 2 at the top of the zone. It's a good start to the at-bat for Mizuno. He hasn't been ahead in many counts, and it's 0-2. So Pods Strelany at first. Here's the 0-2 to Patterson, excuse me. This one's popped a mile in the air. Again to Tyler Eisenhut. He's going to have to work to the left, and he'll make the grab. Boy, that ball started right at second base and blew more than halfway down the line, almost near Bartholomew at first base, but that'll be out number 1.
Yeah, you put it perfectly. Eisenhut was almost in the range where he could have just handed that ball to Bartholomew once he caught it. Just a weird condition that we have. We had it yesterday, and we've got it again today in Wenatchee.
So that'll bring up Gage Wareham from Colorado Mesa, hitting at the bottom of the order. Mizuno will check it first at Pods. Wareham entered yesterday's game 0 for 9 on the summer and then erupted, was 3 for 4 with 5 RBIs, was one of the 3 players in the lineup for the AppleSox with 5 RBIs in last night's game. Also walked twice. This one's hitting hard towards Eisenhut, could be 2. Eisenhut to Kung, long throw is in time. An inning double play, much better work in the bottom of the second for Jaden Mizuno, but the AppleSox still with the 2-0 lead over the Sticks. We'll go to the third.
Really nice looking turn from the middle infield of the Fish Sticks, and such a good bounce back from Jaden Mizuno after a leadoff walk to start that inning, forces a pop out, and then a tailor-made double play to Eisenhut, and Eisenhut and Kuhn have proven time and time again that they can make that play look routine.
So Skyleman will come out for the third inning. That'll be the longest any pitcher has gone, including last night's game and into today. His brother only went 2 innings yesterday, did pitch well, so Skyleman looking to emulate that. And right now, other than a walk to Rolling, who eventually got out on a double play, Skyleman's been pitching really efficiently so far.
Yeah, just like his brother last night, as there is some movement over down the third base line in the Wenatchee bullpen. Skyleman, you would think he's got the entire third to himself, but maybe past that, the AppleSox will look to some new arms. Obviously a non-league game. Both of these teams are going to be looking to get some different guys in.
So both the runs for the AppleSox came in the bottom of the first. It was a sac fly and an RBI ground out that got the job done. Still no hits for either side so far. Jacob Rolling the only walk for the Sticks, who have 7, 8, 9 due up. Cade Galen, Tyler Eisenhut, and Noah Kuhn are due up, and Cade Galen and Eisenhut, two guys that are struggling from a batting average perspective, but have been forcing walks. And Galen in particular, he has 3 hits in 22 at-bats this season, but has scored 8 runs.
That's insane. That is something that you are not going to see a lot of. The other one on the team that I like looking at is Isaac Watson, who is 1 for 16 on the season and has an OBP of 400. So even if guys like Galen or Eisenhut or Watson haven't been getting in the hit column, they've been finding ways on base, and that has kind of been a really big part of the Fish Sticks' offensive success in recent games, but that was not the case last night.
So Galen will step in. He's hitting 120 with a 371 on base percentage. He's forced 8 walks this summer. Obviously a lot of speed with Galen, as we've highlighted throughout the summer. And Skyleman fires in strike 1 on the outside corner to Galen. So 2-0 lead for the Sox. Here another beautiful night in Wenatchee. Wind has died down a little bit for this inning, as Galen takes a look at strike 2 on the same part of the zone on that outside corner.
Yeah, zone's big. Any pitch that's close is probably going to get called for a strike today, and that's why both pitchers have worked pretty efficiently in their outs so far today.
Skyleman from the stretch delivers. Galen grounds this to first, and it hops off the glove of Marr, and Galen will be aboard. Boy, that took a nasty hop in the infield, and Marr had to reach up and couldn't make the play, so that will likely go down as an error, but nothing much that Ethan Marr could do.
That will surely be an E3. That went off the glove of Marr, but also not much he could do about that, and the Fish Sticks were kind of owed one after Yakima on Monday, a ball that just bounced 10 feet in the air over the head of Tyler Eisenhut at second, who comes up now.
So Eisenhut, another big walk guy for this lineup. Has a couple line drive singles on the season as well. Galen a big lead at first. Eisenhut takes a look at ball 1 on the inside part of the zone. Eisenhut hitting 136 this year, but has a 387 on base percentage. Again, a pretty stark contrast between those two statistics, but Eisenhut has been forcing walks. Great plate discipline this summer. Galen will take off. Eisenhut hit and run scenario. This one's hit well into the gap in right center field, and that'll get down. Galen will go to third. Eisenhut chugging for second base. The throw not in time. The first hit of the night going to Tyler Eisenhut. And 2 runners in scoring position for the Fish Sticks. Great piece of hitting from Eisenhut.
Yeah, any line drive to center field is probably going to trail into that right center field power alley, and it happens right there for Eisenhut. Now you've got 2 runners in scoring position and nobody gone for one of the hottest bats in the lineup, Noah Kuhn, hitting 9th today.
So we saw Kuhn near the top of the order. He actually led off last night's game, was hitting second a couple of days ago in Yakima. And Kuhn on a 4-game hitting streak. 3 of those games have included multi-hit affairs. Here's the first pitch. Skyleman off speed at the top of the zone for ball 1. So Kuhn, after a slow start to the summer, is hitting 367, 7 hits in his last 4 games. He's a mainstay right now at shortstop for this team.
Yeah, we've seen it be kind of a revolving door over at short, but in recent games, and especially on this road trip to Central Washington, Kuhn has been the guy at shortstop, and he found himself in the leadoff spot yesterday, now hitting 9th with Rylan Gullard right behind him.
So Kuhn, the hot bat, he's got 2 in scoring position. A base hit could tie this game here in the top of the 3rd. Skyleman just got a mound visit. It's a 1-0 count to Noah Kuhn, and the Sox up 2-0, but 2 in scoring position. As Kuhn fouls this back. Count will even out at 1 apiece.
That foul ball might have caused some glass damage, but don't worry, community glass has you covered.
I do not think it caused any glass damage. It was right into the net.
Call 509.
The speaker is a little bit quieter today.
If you were here yesterday, we had a speaker issue. We weren't big fans of it, but it is quieter. We didn't even ask. I think they just heard our prayers a little bit.
Here's the 1-1 from Skyleman to Kuhn. This will score a run right off the second baseman Wareham. Nicely done to stay with it. He'll get the out at first. That'll be the first out of the inning. but Cade Galen comes through to score. It's 2-1 AppleSox.
Another really tough hop for this AppleSox infield, and that time Wareham's able to make the play. But hard hit contact from Noah Kung, which is something that has just become trademark for him in recent games, and he brings in a run. He didn't even have a run batted in coming into this road trip. Now he's got 4.
So that'll be back to the top of the order with Rylan Gullard. Eisenhut at third base. He advanced on that RBI ground out. That one just tickled the outside part of the zone for strike 1 on that off speed from Skyleman. Gullard, a deep fly out to right field his first time up. Hit pretty good contact and the wind carried it. But Kai McGarry out there in right was planted near the track. Off speed, fouled off, and Gullard is behind 0-2.
Gullard is yet to see a ball today, and obviously a really disciplined hitter. It kind of just speaks to how Skyleman has been going at him today.
0-2 count now. RBI ground out from Noah Kung has the Sticks within 1. 2-1 game as Gullard fouls that off. A little frustrated, caught a hanging curveball there from Skyleman, and count stays at 0-2.
Yeah, that's the pitch to do it with if you're Rylan Gullard, and we've seen him punish that ball for a home run already this year.
Gullard 2 home runs on the season. Again, we mentioned it already, but leads the team in RBIs at the top of the lineup. Has an opportunity for another one here with Eisenhut at third and 1 down. Here's the 1-2 from Skyleman up the middle. Could be a play out in center, and it is, but Eisenhut will tag up. And the throw nowhere close. So 2 runs have come across. Rylan Gullard does his job, and we have a tie ball game here in the top of the 3rd.
The Fish Sticks were a little late to the party on the scoring yesterday. Their 2 runs came in the 4th in a 6-0 game. They cut that deficit to 4, and from there the floodgates opened for the AppleSox. So a really good response here in the 3rd, and we are tied.
Again, it is early, but already as many runs as the Sticks had yesterday. And it's a tie ball game here against the AppleSox after a 24-2 loss yesterday as Riley Sonoy steps in and the tall lefty takes a look at ball 1 outside. So Rylan Gullard with a sac fly. Eisenhut with the only hit of the game, he doubled, put him and Cade Galen in scoring position. And then an RBI ground out from Noah Kung and a sac fly from Gullard brings this thing even at 2 apiece. Sonoy, nice piece of hitting, lines it into right field for a base hit. That's become his bread and butter. Sonoy stays hot on the summer.
From one hot bat to another, Evan Hellner, who was retired his first time out, now comes up. 4 for 5 on the day for Hellner. And if there's one guy in the Fish Sticks lineup that I think the AppleSox are going to try and dance around tonight, it's Evan Hellner.
Again, Hellner was 4 for 5 last night, and it looks like it will be the end of Ty Skyleman's night. So the Sox will turn to the bullpen for the first time today. The Sticks have 2 across here in the top of the 3rd, and they've tied things up at 2 apiece here in Wenatchee.
Wendy's went back to the kitchen to give our famous spicy chicken sandwich a total upgrade. More crunch, more flavor, with heat that just hits. Is this our best spicy chicken ever? Looks like a yes to me. Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
They always say, think happy thoughts. It's easy when you're a Wendy's cookie dough frosty fusion. I'm an instant dopamine hit. Get it? Dopamine? Like cookie dough. I said like cookie dough! Happiness is a cookie dough frosty fusion at Wendy's.
Oh, Audrey, look over there.
Where? Oh, a whole herd of reindeer beers.
Not herds, Audrey. Rainier's come in 6-packs.
Oh,
Wake up, Harley.
Harley, look at the reindeers. Oh, they're just so fresh and friendly.
Once upon a home, in a Seattle bungalow, the Huffs searched on Thumbtack to find their next pro. Now the job is all done, and the table is set. The hot dogs taste better on their fancy new deck. Start your home story on Thumbtack.
You ever wonder how Crispy gets to the fryer for games? He uses King County Metro's Rapid Ride H-Line. King County Metro, the official commute of your DubSea Fish Sticks.
So the first pitching change of the night here between the AppleSox and the Fish Sticks, it'll be Harry Pelsman who will come in, another right-hander as we've come to expect from the Sox.
Yeah, pitched down in the Big West at UC San Diego this past season, and as a freshman back in 2025, appeared in 8 games out of the bullpen, and a lot of Big West and a lot of SoCal roots on this team. Already a couple anteaters from UC Irvine in this one, and now a Triton from UC San Diego.
So Evan Hellner, the hottest bat in this lineup, fouls off for strike one. So I was actually wrong, and Pelsman is a lefty. So the first lefty that the Sox have thrown out in this 2-game homestand. He's the 10th pitcher in those 2 games, and he fires in a fastball. So Hellner is behind 0-2.
And boy, if pitchers are getting that call tonight, it is going to maybe be a lower scoring game than last night.
Pelsman fires in low in the zone. Hellner fouls it off, so he stays alive. So Riley Sonoy was the last batter that Skyleman faced after a single to right field. There's 2 gone here in the top of the 3rd, but the Fish Sticks have plated 2 to tie this thing up at 2 apiece. And the count will go to 1-2.
So Hellner comes up. Obviously, this team knows Hellner all too well from last night, and they go to the lefty-on-lefty matchup, obviously trying to neutralize Evan Hellner the best they can.
Hellner went 4 for 5. This one's hit hard into center field, but right into the glove of Zach Doyle. That'll be out number 3, but the Fish Sticks with 2 in the top of the inning, and it's all tied up at 2 apiece here in Wenatchee.
For over 15 years, As You Wish Electric has offered the comprehensive electrical solutions Seattle families trust. We are proud to announce that we can now also serve your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. As we grow, we are committed to delivering the same knowledgeable and friendly experience that earned our spot as the region's top-rated electrical company. Contact As You Wish Electric Plumbing, Heating, and Air today to learn more.
Once upon a home in the Issaquah Highlands, the Parkers used Thumbtack for a new kitchen island. Now the pizza is cooking and the kids are excited. Thank goodness for Thumbtack and all it provided. Start your home story on Thumbtack.
2 runs apiece for the Fish Sticks and the Wenatchee AppleSox down here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium at Wenatchee Valley College. Kyle Sweeney and Angus Trangmo with you, and Jaden Mizuno out for a 3rd inning of work.
Yeah, really good 2nd inning for him after letting up a few free passes in the 1st and giving Wenatchee an early lead in this one. But Mizuno, the lefty, I mean, he's handling the wind somewhat well. It is a really tough task for lefties to throw on this field right now. We saw so many righties yesterday, and now 2 lefties in, 1 for each team, so definitely an interesting pattern for both of these squads.
So Mizuno back to the top of the order with Doyle, McGarry, and Jones due up, but through the first part of the order didn't allow a hit, but had 2 walks and hit the first 2 batters he faced in Doyle and McGarry, both of which came around to score in the bottom of the 1st on a sac fly and an RBI groundout. So still no hits allowed by Mizuno. He fires in an off speed in there for strike 1 to Doyle. So there will already be more pitches in this at bat than the last, as Mizuno started the game by plunking Doyle in the right shoulder. Here's the 0-1 from Mizuno. Another off speed, catches the corner of the zone. He's ahead 0-2.
And since Mizuno hit Doyle with the first pitch he saw last time up, you got to think about this like this is the first time Doyle has faced Mizuno today. This isn't like going through the 2nd time in the order between these 2.
Here's the 0-2 from Mizuno. His fastball's high for ball 1, trying to get Doyle to chase on the high cheese. So 2 runs apiece here between the AppleSox and the Sticks. The Sticks playing a much more competitive game through the first 3.5 innings. Mizuno fires in, fastball fouled off, out towards the cars, past left field.
Yeah, we're in the bottom of the 3rd right now, and at the end of this frame last night, it was already 6-0 AppleSox, so definitely a change of pace today.
Zach Doyle, the UC Irvine Anteater, up for the 2nd time. Here's the 1-2 from Mizuno, way outside for ball 2.
Still no movement over in the Fish Sticks pen, so They are riding with Mizuno today, and I like that decision. He's already had a few long outings this year. Why not make him a starter?
Went 4 innings of scoreless work his last time at the mound. Off speed, almost catches the top of the zone, but Doyle has battled back, and the count is full.
Obviously a leadoff walk in the second that ended up not doing anything to the scoreboard, but you can't keep letting leadoff hitters get on base without getting hits.
3-2 in this zone, but fouled off once again by Doyle. So a lengthy battle between the lefties, Doyle and Mizuno, after Mizuno hit Doyle back in the first on the first pitch of the at-bat, first pitch of the game for Mizuno. Another payoff incoming. Mizuno comes set, fires, and that's outside, so nicely done from Doyle, who comes back from an 0-2 deficit to force the walk.
You can see Mizuno kind of smiling and just shaking his head, and that's because the outside half for all of these hitters has been a really big zone this entire 2-game series, and that one not as forgiving for Mizuno.
That'll bring up Kai McGarry, who started off the scoring yesterday with a home run in the first. Mizuno fires in. This one's driven down the line. It'll stay fair. Galen's got a long way to run. Doyle's got a ton of speed. He's being waved home. McGarry thinking 3. The throw from Kuhn to third. Not in time. It's dropped by Rolling, and now McGarry's going home. It's an inside the park home run from Kai McGarry. My goodness. Rolling dropped the ball at third base. No one from the Fish Sticks was around it. It just bounced towards shortstop, and McGarry's got himself an inside the parker.
I think that will probably go down as a triple and then an error probably on Rolling on the tag, but man, that is a really heads-up play from McGarry to notice that there's no Fish Sticks in the area, picks up and just goes, and obviously he can run, so 4-2 in a flash here in Wenatchee.
Boy, how this AppleSox lineup can turn things around in a hurry. It's 4-2, as you mentioned, and that'll bring up Tyler Jones. So if that goes down as an inside the park home run.
It did not.
Which it did not. But I'm going to say it did because it sounds cooler. That would have been the second home run in as many days, as that one's fouled off by Jones for Kai McGarry, but it'll go down as a triple, an RBI, and an error. Well, that's not as cool. Again, just ripped down the third base line. Very thin grass here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, and Galen had a long way to go. McGarry had a lot of speed, and then it was fumbled at third by Rolling, and he would come around to score. This one's hit to Rolling again. Tough play. He lets it go by him, and Tyler Jones is aboard. It's going to be tough to see if that's going to be E5 or not.
But it looks like that'll be a hit. That ball was scorched by Tyler Jones, and 5 for 6 yesterday for the one-time Oregon Duck, and he's got his first hit on the night.
So he walked back in the first, and now this will go down as a single. So he's reached base 7 of the 8 times now through 1 and change against the Sticks. He's just a tough out. And that will go down as a hit. So that'll bring up Jake Overstreet. Still nobody gone here in the bottom of the third. This one's hit well towards right center field. It's tailing, and it's one hops the wall. Gollard can't get to it in time. This will go as a double. Tyler Jones being waved around third, and he will slide in safely. And just like that, a 5-2 lead for the AppleSox, and Overstreet delivers with an RBI double.
This is what this lineup can do. They can just attack, 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 and in a blink, a tie game has turned into a 3-run deficit for the Fish Sticks. And after no hits the first time through the lineup, 3 back-to-back-to-back. And the AppleSox, I mean, this lineup has just impressed me time and time again over the past couple days.
So I'll bring up Joseph Coupland, a new 5-2 lead for the AppleSox. That off-speed slings in there for strike 1 to Coupland, who had an RBI ground out back in the first. That scored the second run of the inning. But just like that, 3 runs come across. All 5 runs have been scored by the top 3 in the lineup for the Sox. Here's the 0-1, doesn't catch a piece of the inside corner, and it's ball 1.
It's kind of the other side of the coin from last night, where the bottom of the lineup accounted for probably 2/3 of the runs for the AppleSox.
1-1 count to Joe Coupland. Swung on, fouled off. Looked like he might have maybe twisted his ankle on the turf on that swing. He'll be behind 1-2. So Zach Doyle first forced a walk. It was at the top of the order for the bottom of the third. And then Kai McGarry ripped a triple down the left field line, and then Jake Rolling couldn't handle the throw as McGarry was legging it out to third, and McGarry would come around to score. And then Tyler Jones with a single the next at bat, and then Jake Overstreet would bring him in 2 pitches later on an RBI double to deep right field. He's at second base. Here's the 1-2 up and in for ball 2. So in a hurry, and there's still nobody out in the bottom of the third inning. This looks reminiscent of what we saw last night.
Yeah, it really does. And now you've got Kai Twites over in the Fish Sticks bullpen getting ready to go. We had an inkling that he would probably go today after 3 shutout innings on Sunday.
2-2 is fouled back on an off speed from Mizuno, so Coupland will stay alive. Again, Coupland, one of the 3 guys in the lineup tonight that we didn't see last night. And why would you tinker anything from last night's lineup that put up 24 runs and 26 hits? An offensive barrage that we have not seen this summer. Here's the 2-2 from Mizuno, straight back at him. It goes off his glove, I hope, but Kung is right there to get the out. Boy, that bounced off the upper part of the body for Mizuno. Bartholome and Kung are gonna come check on him. Coach Mark Lynn's gonna come out anyway. Mizuno giving the thumbs up sign, but dang, that was dangerous. He threw up his glove at the last second to save that from hitting him in the face, but good heads up play by Kung to recover the ball and get the out at first.
That's the 3rd straight game where an opposing hitter has just launched a ball right back at a Fish Sticks pitcher. It was Nutfer on Monday and Yakima, and then Parker yesterday right here in Wenatchee. And the first 2 were not recorded as outs, but what a play by Noah Kung to read the bounce off of Mizuno's glove, and it looks like Mizuno is okay, and then fire over to first for the out. That is just such a good play with the glove from Kung.
So that'll bring up Ethan Marr, just 1 down here in the bottom of the third. So Overstreet will advance to third on that play. Again, he had that RBI double that scored Tyler Jones, the 3rd run of the inning. It's 5-2 AppleSox. This one's popped up towards Sonoy. This is going foul. Sonoy kind of just almost threw his glove at the ball. Might not have been his most smooth effort, we'll say, on that dive.
I don't think that's going to make it to his Instagram.
No.
At all. That was not very gracious from Riley Sonoy. Just no way around it.
It just shows how confusing this ball flight is, because that basically started right down the line, and then Sonoy had to run much farther than he thought as it just kept tailing towards the right side of the outfield. And the 0-1 catches a piece of Ethan Marr. He'll take his base. That's the 3rd hit by pitch already for Mizuno.
Almost a gift that it hit Marr for Mizuno. So that was going to be a tough read for Hellner behind the plate to get his glove to that ball and keep it in front of him before Overstreet could hustle home for the 4th run of the inning.
So 1st and 3rd now with 1 gone. 3 runs have come across. It was the first 3 batters of the inning, including a triple and an error at third base, in which Kai McGarry would eventually leg out what I call an inside the park home run, but the box score will indicate as a triple. So Mizuno's going to try to finish out the inning. Again, Kai Twites in the bullpen warming up, another right-hander. And they're checking over at first at Ethan Marr, who was teammates with Von Lowe at Tacoma Community College before now transferring to UW, where he'll play next year.
Lefty on lefty, this is going to be a big bounce back from Mizuno, and you just, obviously, this AppleSox lineup is likely not going to stop scoring runs here in the 3rd, so you have to keep them at bay right here.
Wind whipping once again, off speed, slid in there for strike 1. It's tough to do against this wind blowing left to right, but that'll be strike 1 to Michael Podstrelny, who we are calling Pods. As a Warriors fan, that's somewhat tough to say. Here's the 1-1 with one gone. Excuse me, the 0-1. Now it's 1-1. Curveball was in the turf.
Brandon Pajemski, is he part of the Warriors' future, you think?
Man, I sure hope not. I sure hope not. So 1-1 now to Pods. Runners at first and third with one gone here in the bottom of the third. That one just misses inside, 2-1 count. So it's 5-2 AppleSox after 3 runs have already come across in this half inning, after the Fish Sticks had tied it up in the top half of the third with 2 runs of their own. 2-1 incoming from Mizuno, another off speed, and the 4th time he has hit a batter. 2 times in a row now, and Pods will take his base, and now the bases are loaded.
Smart move by Hellner to go talk to Mizuno here, and it looks like that will be the day for Jaden Mizuno. So a really big spot for Kai Twites to come in and limit the damage in the third.
Twites impressed in his summer debut for the Sticks, but bases loaded and 1 out will await him here on the other side on the Fish Sticks Network.
Wendy's went back to the kitchen to give our famous spicy chicken sandwich a total upgrade. More crunch, more flavor, with heat that just hits. Is this our best spicy chicken ever? Looks like a yes to me. Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
They always say, think happy thoughts. It's easy when you're a Wendy's cookie dough frosty fusion. I'm an instant dopamine hit. Get it? Dope-amine? Like cookie dough. I said like cookie dough! Happiness is a cookie dough frosty fusion at Wendy's.
Oh, Audrey, look over there.
Where? Oh, a whole herd of reindeer beers.
Not herds, Audrey. Rainier's come in 6-packs.
Oh,
Wake up, Harley.
Harley, look at the reindeers. Oh, they're just so fresh and friendly.
So Kai Twites will take the mound. Mizuno's night is over after 2 1/3 innings, but right now the same avalanche we saw last night is currently happening for the AppleSox. They've scored 3 here in the bottom of the third to take a 5-2 lead, and the bases are loaded with 1 gone.
Kai Twites now in for the Fish Sticks. He is from just down Highway 97 in Ellensburg, and 3 1/3 of scoreless ball back on Sunday against Elevate Northwest. He looked so good in his first outing as a Fish Stick back in the Friar. And a little fun fact about him, this guy could hit in high school too. He led the entire state of Washington in homers his senior year of high school as an Ellensburg High School Bulldog.
Same city as Steel Venters, Gonzaga Bulldog legend.
Legend is generous, I must say.
I really do wish the best for Steel Venters next year at UW because he really struggled with injuries. He came in after putting up a Conference Player of the Year season at Eastern Washington, and then a torn Achilles and a torn ACL back-to-back seasons is just really unfortunate. So hoping for the best, but him and Kai Twites, both from Ellensburg, which we drove past to get here, or to get to Yakima, and then just a couple hours north from Yakima here to Wenatchee, where the AppleSox are 20-8 on the year. Beat the DubSea Fish Sticks 24-2 last night, and looking to add on to that. It's 5-2 Sox. Here in the bottom of the third, they're looking to add on. Bases are loaded for Max Patterson. So right-on-right matchup will favor the pitcher Twites, but he's up in a difficult scenario. 1 gone here in the bottom of the third. Twites will deliver that. Boy, that almost hit Patterson. Mizuno hit 4 batters. He hit the last 2 that he faced before his night was over. That's inside for ball 1.
Twites has some no-joke velocity, and you can already tell with that first pitch.
Here's the 1-0 ripped. Almost hit the coach for the AppleSox, and it actually did hit a kid out there in left field.
Oh my gosh, that area is going to be the death of me.
It is very exposed. It's almost like a Little League park if Little League parks didn't have fences. And there's just a hill out there in left field that goes up to the concession stand, and it just drilled a kid in the leg, but he seems to be all right. Yeah, tough guy.
Goodness. That is just breaking so many codes over there.
So here's the 1-1 with 1 gone is low for ball 2. Patterson flew out to second base. It was a pretty weak fly ball to get the first out of the inning back in the second, which was a clean inning for Mizuno, the only clean one in his 3 innings of work. And that's outside for ball 3. So Twites cannot walk Patterson, or that'll walk in a run. That would be the 4th of the inning for the Sox, who are up 5-2.
You want to force this AppleSox lineup to earn their way on base, and the Fish Sticks pitching staff has just not done that so far today. Or specifically Jaden Mizuno. I guess he's been the only pitcher so far today.
Here's the 3-1 delivery upstairs for ball 4, and that'll be another run for the Sox. 4 now across here in the inning, and they lead 6-2.
Yep, just finding ways on base. This is the same old story from last night, and they had 6 runs through 3 innings last night. They've got 6 runs and are still threatening here in the 3rd today.
So that'll bring up tonight's beer batter and Gage Wareham, and every total base that Wareham gets tonight will be dollars off beers.
For example, a home run is $4 off a beer. Just to clear up any confusion on the beer deal here in Wenatchee.
So Twites fires in another ball behind 1-0 to Wareham. Wareham did not do well as the beer batter his last time up. He grounded into an ending double play in the second. Nicely done by Eisenhut and Kung up the middle for the Sticks to turn that one. Here's the 1-0, finally catches the zone. It's 1-1 now to Wareham. So the bases are juiced with 1 gone. Twites just walked Max Patterson to walk in another run. So the Sox have 6 runs on just 3 hits. They lead 6-2 here in the bottom of the 3rd. 1-1 coming from Wareham. Nice looking off speed that slides in there for strike 2.
The parallels to the Fish Sticks' first game of the road trip down in Yakima, where they scored 10 runs on just 5 hits en route to a 10-5 victory over the Pippins.
So here's the 1-2 to Wareham. Twice trying to get out of a jam, and strike 3. A big swing and a miss from Wareham, and that's out number 2. So nicely done to recover after that RBI walk from Patterson. There's 2 gone.
Yeah, you're going to need that out, obviously, at some point, but the fact that you can get that out without a run coming in via maybe a sac fly or a ground out is huge for Twites.
So this is the second at-bat of the inning for Zach Doyle. He walked to start things off, would eventually come around to score. This one's grounded towards first base, and it gets past Bartholomew. Man, that dirt has given the infielders some troubles, and 2 runs will come across because of it, and it's an 8-2 AppleSox lead.
We have seen the corner infielders just have so much trouble with that today. Rolling already missed a ball. Marr missed a ball for the AppleSox, and now Bartholomew, who is usually the most reliable glove in the world, isn't able to make that play over in the corner. 2 more come across, and it's looking like the same movie is showing tonight at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium so far.
So now 6 runs across here in the bottom of the 3rd. It's an 8-2 lead now for the Sox, and Kai McGarry got everything started earlier here in the 3rd inning. He takes a look at strike 1. So McGarry tripled down the left field line to score Doyle, and then Jake Rolling couldn't handle the relay, and McGarry took off for home. So technically an inside the park home run, but actually technically in the score box, or in the box score, they'll go down as a triple and an error. That one's low in the turf for ball 1. And boy, this could get ugly quick, especially with 2 on, and already an 8-2 lead for the Sox.
Wind has just not relented all day.
1-1 slid in there for strike 2. McGarry was hit by a pitch and scored back in the 1st, and then had that triple RBI and run all in the same play to begin this inning, which feels like a long time ago. Here's the 1-2 to McGarry. Twites fires in. This one's taken towards Rolling. He'll just field it and step on third for the 3rd out of the inning, but not before 6 runs come across in the bottom of the 3rd. The AppleSox already have a commanding lead once again here in Wenatchee, and again, it's basically the same movie we saw last night.
It really is, and this AppleSox lineup is more dangerous than probably any lineup the Fish Sticks are going to see all season. And after 6 runs in the first 3 innings yesterday, it's 8 runs in the first 3 innings today. And against a reliable arm like Jaden Mizuno and now Kai Twites as well.
Great power.
So to the top of the 4th we go. Boy, it was a lengthy 3rd inning. It was 2-0 AppleSox going into the top of the 3rd. The Sticks put up 2 runs of their own to tie things up. We were talking about how this is a major improvement from last night's game already before the AppleSox shoved our own words back on us and scored 6 runs in the bottom of the 3rd. It's an 8-2 lead.
Yeah, and this has kind of just been their trademark all season. There's a reason they are 20-8. There's a reason they clinched a playoff spot by winning the West Coast League North Division in the first half of the season. And you know, there's a reason that they're probably one of, if not the favorite to take home the West Coast League title this season.
So Pelsman, the high velocity lefty from UC San Diego, got an extended break in the bottom of the 3rd. He'll come out for the top of the 4th. It'll be 4-5-6 due up for the Sticks. Jake Rolling will lead things off. Rolling walked back in the 2nd, was eventually sent back to the dugout on an inning-ending double play from Von Lowe, who's due up 3rd. But right now, 8-2 deficit. What do you think the hitters are thinking, especially after a big loss yesterday?
I mean, you got to be thinking, find any way to get on base. It doesn't have to be a hit. We've already seen a few walks issued to the Fish Sticks today, and they really already have done a better job of just finding ways on base at the plate today. It's turned into a couple early runs, but this AppleSox lineup isn't going to let up, and the Fish Sticks can't either.
So Rolling walked for the 7th time in now 8 games on the summer, back in the 2nd. Pelsman delivers. It's low for ball 1. So Rolling again entered this game hitting .400 on the season, slugging over 1,300, or on OPS is over 1,300, and climbing again after that walk back in the 2nd. He'll foul off strike 2.
Obviously Rolling has shown some pop with the bat, but man, he knows how to work a walk and just find any way to get on base.
0-2 from Pelsman.
Oof.
And that actually caught the corner, so the first pitch was a ball, excuse me. So now it's a 1-2 count.
Man, that pitch has been consistently a strike in this series, but it is outside. It does not get any more normal as this series goes on.
That one misses the outside of the part of the zone, and the count will even out at 2 apiece. Pelsman, quick to the pitch, delivers. This one's hit down the right field line, and that'll stay fair, and one hops the wall. Rolling will get to 2nd. He's taking a look in right field. He'll stand up for a leadoff double, and Rolling has got things rolling here in the first part of the summer. Another extra base hit for him.
You have wanted to use that one for so long. I just know it. And finally, it's a leadoff hit for Rolling, and Kyle gets to use his very clever pun, and that's just a really nice piece of hitting. Obviously, anything down the right field line is going to trail away from McGarry out in right field, and Rolling reaches in the leadoff spot of an inning for the 2nd time today.
So Bartholome will come up, rolling the leadoff double at 2nd. Bartholome looks at that outside, and that likely would have been probably a single at the Friar with no wind, but it was well hit, and the ball just kept tailing and actually was thrown off the wall from the grass because of how hard the wind is going left to right. Here's the 1-0 from Pelsman. That's low for ball 2.
Fish Sticks are doing a much better job today of waiting for their pitch. Obviously, 8 of the first 11 batters last night swung at the first pitch, and tonight that has not been the case by any means.
Here's the 2-0 coming from Pelsman. Bartholome takes a look. That one just caught the inside corner for strike 1. Bartholome flew out to 2nd base for the first out of the 2nd inning. Has been hitting well as of late. Had a home run on both Saturday and Sunday against the Dudes and Elevate Northwest. The The Fish Sticks will see the dudes for the 5th time this summer tomorrow night at the Friar. This one's hit towards the same spot. Rolling just hit it, but this time McGarry comes in to make the catch. Rolling will tag up from third. The long throw from McGarry takes Overstreet off the bag, so nicely done by Rolling to get to third base, and there's one gone.
Yeah, like you said, basically the exact same spot, just not as much zip on the Bartholomew piece as it was for Rolling, and that one is covered by McGarry out in right field. Now Vaughn Lowe, who already has driven in 9 runs this summer, comes up with Rolling 90 feet away.
So the Sticks find themselves down 8-2 after a 6-run bottom of the 3rd, but Lowe an opportunity to plate a run to cut into this deficit. First pitch swinging, fouls it back. Lowe grounded into a 4-6-3 double play to end the 2nd inning. So Rolling at third after a leadoff double. He advanced on a flyout from Braden Bartholomew last at bat. It's an 8-2 AppleSox lead. Here's the pitch that's low to Vaughn Lowe, and it's 1-1.
Man, Rolling gets it rolling low to low. You are just emptying the clip tonight with the dad jokes on the broadcast.
Shout out the dads out there, especially mine, as that one is fouled off. So Low behind 0-2. Shout out to Chris Sweeney. They love that one.
There you go, yeah.
Rolling is rolling, and that's low to low. Right now.
Well, what do you got for Bartholomew?
I don't think that's really possible. But we already had our fun with Bartholomew, that 12 pitch at bat back on Sunday, which he clobbered a home run on the 12th pitch. That was fun. Low, this one shot to third base. That'll get past Overstreet, and Rolling will walk into home. So an 8-3 lead now for the Sox as Vaughn Lowe delivers. That's his 10th RBI of the season.
And now all 4 corner infielders on the field, 2 for each team, obviously, have misplayed a ball that was hard hit to them in the corners. That is Rolling and Bartholomew for the Fish Sticks, and Overstreet and Marr for the AppleSox. It is just so tough to read this infield for the hitters, and Lowe hit that hard enough that it was a really tough play for Overstreet, and it brings in Rolling.
So the lefty Pelsman will let up an earned run. It's still 8-3 AppleSox, but 3 in the top of the 3rd for the Sticks. Or 2 in the top of the 3rd and 1 here in the top of the 4th. Galen showed bunt but pulled away last second. That'll be a ball. I believe the count is 2-0.
I would think so. I think they're handling the scoreline issue right now, but Galen already talked about how he just finds ways to reach base every time he comes up, it seems.
And this likely will be another one. It's a 3-0 count now to Galen with Vaughn Lowe on first. There's one gone here in the top of the 4th, one already in. Lowe with an RBI single on a liner into left field to score Jake Rolling. And that'll just catch the outside corner, so strike one. A 3-1 count now to Cade Galen.
Yeah, really impressed that pitcher can get so much run on that. I mean, Pelsman is a lefty, and still, that was moving.
This one up the middle, right at Pelsman. It's off the glove. He's going to hustle, try to throw out Galen, and he does. That's a tough task with the speed of Galen. So nice recovery by Pelsman to get the out. There's 2 gone.
Yeah, we saw Mizuno get a comebacker ground ball right at him, and that turned into an out as well by Noah Kung. That time, Pelsman does it himself, and obviously Galen can fly. So that's a really tough play, but Lowe advances into scoring position, and a really nice play with the mitt for Pelsman.
So that'll bring up Tyler Eisenhut. Eisenhut had his first extra base hit of the season with the double to deep right field back in the 3rd. He would also come around to score. First pitch swinging, foul tip for strike 1. So 2 come across in the top of the 3rd, and now 1 here in the top of the 4th. A single could bring in another with Vaughn Lowe sitting at 2nd. The AppleSox still lead 8-3. Eisenhut lets that one go low in the zone. It's 1-1.
This lineup, I mean, they've already outscored themselves from last night, but at some point the pitching staff is going to have to hold up their end of the bargain. And with this AppleSox lineup and the way they're hitting, that's going to be a really tall task.
Wind picking up. Eisenhut looks low, ball 2. Eisenhut did the correct thing in these kind of conditions and took his double the opposite way. It just kept going and going and one hopped the wall. That would advance Cade Galen to 3rd and Eisenhut to 2nd. Both would come around to score. 8-3 Sox. Pelsman delivers. This one's hit well into center field. Coming in is Zach Doyle, and he'll make the grab. And that'll end the inning. So another run does come across for the Sticks, but they're still staring at a 5-run deficit. It's 8-3 Sox.
You ever wonder how Crispy gets to the fryer for games? He uses King County Metro's Rapid Ride H-Line. King County Metro, the official commute of your DubSea Fish Sticks.
For over 15 years, As You Wish Electric has offered the comprehensive electrical solutions Seattle families trust. We are proud to announce that we can now also serve your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. As we grow, we are committed to delivering the same knowledgeable and friendly experience that earned our spot as the region's top-rated electrical company. Contact As You Wish Electric, Plumbing, Heating, and Air today to learn more.
8-3 AppleSox over the DubSea Fish Sticks here in Wenatchee. Going to the bottom of the 4th. Kyle Sweeney and Angus Trangmo with you. Kai Twites back out for another inning of work, but the bottom of the 3rd was pretty successful for the AppleSox. They forced out Mizuno and forced in Twites, a part of their 6-run inning, and that's the reason that they are ahead by 5 runs here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Again, looking a lot like it was last night with that 6-run display in the bottom of the 3rd. So Twites will try to quiet the order, but this is a tough part of the order to try to do that too. It's 3, 4, 5 due up for the Sox. Tyler Jones from Oregon will lead things off. The Oregon Duck has had a lot of success today. He takes a look at strike 1 on the outside corner.
Yeah, after going 5 for 6 yesterday, he's already 1 for 1 with a double and a walk. So just seeing the ball from the Fish Sticks this week.
Has reached base 7 of 8 times through the 2 games. And this one's not over yet. Again, this is the 2nd time he's appeared for the AppleSox. Yesterday was his debut, and what a debut it was, going 5 for 6 and scoring 6 runs. This one's over to Kung, a nice play, sliding, gets to his feet and throws to Bartholomew for out number 1. Man, Noah Kung made that look easy, and it has not been easy in the infield so far.
Ever since Jones struck out in the 1st inning of yesterday's game, that is about the effort it takes to get him out. And Noah Kung, we almost saw him make a heck of a play on Sunday at the Friar, and that time a little easier, but just a smooth slide in the middle of the infield behind second base, and the throw is right on the money for Bartholomew.
And that'll bring up Jake Overstreet with 1 gone here in the bottom of the 4th. The Sox with an 8-3 lead over the Fish Sticks. Overstreet, the Kansas Jayhawk, doubled and scored last inning. He'll foul it off for strike 1. That double did score Tyler Jones. Overstreet flew out to Ryland Gollard back in the 1st. Big guy is Overstreet too. He's been displaying that in this little 2-game series between the Sticks and the Sox. Overstreet was 1 for 2 with a couple walks yesterday before he promptly got replaced by the assistant coach in the lineup. That one's up and in for ball 1.
Yeah, Overstreet, sneaky speed as well. It looked like Guedes Rodriguez had picked him off yesterday, but instead he just stole second.
1-1 coming from Twites to Overstreet. Again, up and in. It'll be a 2-1 count. 1 gone here in the bottom of the 4th.
Twites loses control of 2 pitches in a row. They go to the exact same spot. Hellner not able to catch up to the second one.
Tyler Jones led off the inning and grounded out to Noah Kung, who made another great play at short. It's 2-1 count to Jake Overstreet here in the bottom of the 4th. That one, again, up and in. This time missing on the off speed was Twites.
Mizuno issued 3 walks and hit 4 batters, and then Twites has already walked a batter today. So this would be the 9th free pass for the AppleSox today, who have 8 runs on 3 hits. So as Overstreet will take his base. I mean, at some point, you've got to come to the zone. I know it's a scary lineup, and they've punished some mistakes this week already, but it's better to allow a hit than a walk.
And that will be the third walk in 2 days against this Fish Sticks lineup for Overstreet, who's at first. That'll bring up Joe Coupland, who was DHing and hitting 5-hole for the Sox. Coupland 0 for 2, a couple of ground outs, but did drive in a run back in the first on his ground out to Jake Rolling at third. 0-0 delivery hit a mile high in the air over to left field. Galen coming in, he loses his hat, comes way in and makes the catch. Kind of just showing off how insane the wind has been in this 3-game road trip, and it's stayed the same here tonight, but a quick out number 2.
The interesting part of it is that even in Yakima and then up to Wenatchee, it is blowing the exact same direction for all 3 of these games, and it has favored lefties heavily, but when a righty's able to take it opposite field, it has behaved the exact same way.
First pitch popped up by Ethan Marr. Bartholomew calls everyone off and catches it in foul territory. So nice recovery from Kai Twites after walking Jake Overstreet. A scoreless bottom of the 4th. It's still 8-3 AppleSox here in Wenatchee.
That's a really good inning from Twites. We kind of saw the same thing from Mizuno after giving up a couple in his first inning of work. He goes scoreless in the second, and that time Twites obviously gives up a walk, but 3 quick outs outside of that, and that's a really good inning, especially if the Fish Sticks want to get back in this game. You want quick outs, not just outs, quick outs.
So Pelsman, the lefty, will come back out once again. Still hanging on to an 8-3 lead are the AppleSox. 6 of those 8 runs plated in the bottom of the 3rd. We're heading towards the top of the 5th. So Kuhn will lead things off. It'll be 9-1-2 back to the top of the order for the 3rd time. Kuhn drove in a run back in the 3rd with a ground out to second. The ball was hit really hard, but again, he's been a really reliable bat as of late. And maybe it might be intentional that he's in the 9-hole position. We've seen him at the top of the order a couple of times recently because he's been hitting so well. He's at 367 this summer, but hitting right in front of Gollard, who does have a lot of RBIs this season, so they might be trying to put base runners on for the top of the order.
Absolutely. I mean, we talked about it earlier today at lunch. I mean, Rylan Gollard with runners on is better than Rylan Gollard in a bases empty situation just because of the fact that he has so many hits on the season. He's got a 14-game hitting streak coming into this game, and he's just such a good hitter. You want to give him as many chances as you possibly can to bring in runs.
He'll be due up behind Kuhn this inning. Pelsman out for now his 3rd inning of work after coming in back in the 3rd. So an 8-3 lead, but the Sticks are actually out hitting the Sox. They have 4 hits to 3. But 9 free base runners have come from the Sticks pitching staff. That's been the difference so far as Noah Kuhn takes a look at ball 1.
Kuhn already brought in a run, albeit on a ground out. Hard hit ground out at that.
Pelsman delivers 1-0. Now the count evens out at 1-1 after a swing and a miss from Kuhn.
Kuhn's confidence has grown as a hitter already this summer, and you can tell when he's in the box. He was not taking cuts like that at the beginning of the season.
This one dribbled foul. So 1-2 count now to Noah Kuhn. Again, as I mentioned, 7 hits in the last 4 games, including 3 straight games with 2 hits. He's up to 367 entering this contest. Kuhn from Brandeis University all the way in Boston, over 3,000 miles away from Seattle. Almost offered to that pitch out and away. The count will even out at 2 apiece. So Pelsman the lefty versus Kuhn the righty. The Sticks put up 2 in the 3rd and 1 in the 4th, but they still trail 8-3. Kuhn gives us a good charge into center field. Doyle is going to go back. It'll be a deep fly out from Noah Kuhn to start the inning.
Now batting, center fielder.
Like you said, put a good charge into that ball, and it did have some pretty serious carry, but that is the deepest part of the park here in Wenatchee. And Doyle, we already saw his killer speed on McGarry's triple earlier in this game, and that is a walk in the park for him.
So that'll be back to the top of the order for the third time tonight. Rylan Gullard will step into the plate. Gullard flew out to right field and then had a sac fly back in the third that scored Cade Galen. Or excuse me, Tyler Eisenhut. That was the second run of the game for the Sticks. As Gullard looks at strike one. Gullard entered the game hitting .333, has a hit in all 14 games he's played in this summer. Way out in front is strike two. Nice looking off speed from Pelsman, who's ahead 0-2.
We've seen Gullard get behind in a few counts already today, and probably the best two-strike hitter on this team, so I guarantee he's not worried up there right now.
0-2 fouled off. A little bit fortunate that Podstellany behind the dish let that one go, so Gullard will stay alive.
Just puzzling to me that the Fish Sticks have more hits in this game than the AppleSox, and we find ourselves in an 8-3 game advantage Wenatchee.
That's what happens when the staff walks 5 and hits 3.
It's 4, actually.
It's 4.
Yeah. It's not going to cut it. Just simple as that.
Here's the 0-2 to Gullard. Another foul ball straight back. He'll stay alive once again. Again, Gullard just such a tough out in this lineup. You don't see him strike out a lot. Leads the team in hits and RBIs, has struck out just 5 times in 54 at-bats this season. 0-2 incoming from Pelsman. He fires in, that's high and outside for ball 1. So Gullard working Pelsman right now, trying to make him earn the out after going ahead quickly 0-2.
Yeah, count's only 1-2, but this is already the 6th pitch of the AB to Gullard.
Pelsman fires in the 1-2, good off speed, gets Gullard to swing and miss. And that'll be the second out of the inning. That's the second strikeout of the game for the Sox.
A rare strikeout of Gullard that time. I think Pelsman, or at least I think Gullard was sitting on Pelsman to come to him in the zone, and instead just rolls off the table from Pelsman, and Gullard chases for strike 3.
So that'll bring up Riley Sonoy, who singled his last time up back in the third after striking out swinging in the first. 2 gone here in the top of the 5th. Sonoy swings, grounded to third. It's going to be a long throw. Sonoy beats out the throw. That'll be his second single of the game, and nice hustle to beat that one out.
Normal defensive alignment, and Sonoy is out right there, but AppleSox were in the shift, and really good hustle by Sonoy to beat the throw. He is a little tender going back to the bag. I think might have fired something up when his leg hit the bag over at first.
He's grimacing in pain. Gavin George already done for the summer with a partially torn hamstring. That's what he told us on the broadcast on Sunday. We wish him the best. He was hitting .389 prior to the injury and was a mainstay in left field and hitting at the 2-hole position. So another injury, especially to the outfield, would not be ideal for the Sticks. Sonoy was kind of massaging the right quad area, and he'll walk around at first and stretch things out.
It looks like he's going to stay in this game, and I mean, George was white hot when he got hurt in Tacoma a couple of weeks ago, and now Sonoy, this is the best he's been swinging the bat all season, and it looks like he might come out of this game after testing out the hammy.
So Sonoy looks like maybe a right groin injury after 2 hits. He'll come to the bench, and Jackson Dulé, who's got a lot of speed, another speedy outfielder, will come out and pinch hit. Not a sight you want to see for the Sticks, and we wish Riley Sonoy the best.
Yeah, that is one of the last guys you want to see go out right now, just because of the 180 his season has been on in the past couple weeks, and a great road trip for Sonoy. And Dulé, no slouch behind him in the outfield either, but first Gavin George, now Riley Sonoy dealing with injuries in the outfield. Dulé can go, though.
Yeah, sub 760 speed for Dulé, which is elite. So he'll come in, stretching out a little bit, trying to get warm over at first after Riley Sonoy hit an infield single to third. But he'll exit the game. That'll bring up Evan Hellner. 2 gone here in the top of the 5th. Pelsman looks over at Dulé. Now fires in. That will be a ball low in the zone. Hellner entered into the game hitting .481, was 13 for 27. No doubt the hottest hitter on the team. He was 4 for 5 yesterday and 10 for his last 17 overall. The New Mexico State commit has been having a heck of a summer so far. He's ahead 2-0.
He's clearly been a focus for the AppleSox, at least on the pitching side of things. And there was a pitching change right before Hellner came up to get the lefty-on-lefty matchup earlier in this game, and now they've still got that same matchup right now.
That pitch was low in the zone, but Hellner takes a hack at strike 1. Hellner is 0 for 2 tonight after 3 for 4 performance against the Pippins and 4 for 5 yesterday. Pelsman delivers, swung on and missed again by Hellner for strike 2.
Pelsman's stuff is really good, and even with the wind blowing the wrong direction for him, still all kinds of right to left movement.
Delay at first, replacing the injured Riley Sonoy. Here's the 2-2 with 2 outs. That off-speed tails outside of the zone, and the count will fill up.
Jake Rolling on deck as well. He has reached a couple times with a hit and a walk today.
3-2 with 2 outs. Dulé will be moving on the base paths. There he goes, and swung on and missed for strike 3. Hellner is retired. And to the bottom of the 5th we will go. The AppleSox still with an 8-3 lead.
Wendy's went back to the kitchen to give our famous spicy chicken sandwich a total upgrade. More crunch, more flavor, with heat that just hits. Is this our best spicy chicken ever? Looks like a yes to me. Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
They always say, think happy thoughts. It's easy when you're a Wendy's cookie dough frosty fusion. I'm an instant dopamine hit. Get it? Dope-amine? Like cookie dough. I said like cookie dough! Happiness is a cookie dough frosty fusion at Wendy's.
Oh, Audrey, look over there.
Where? Oh, a whole herd of reindeer beers.
Not herds, Audrey. Reindeers come in 6-packs.
Oh,
Wake up, Harley.
Harley, look at the reindeers. Oh, they're just so fresh and friendly.
Once upon a home, in a Seattle bungalow, the Huffs searched on Thumbtack to find their next pro. Now the job is all done, and the table is set. The hot dogs taste better on their fancy new deck. Start your home story on Thumbtack.
Back here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium here at Wenatchee Valley College. I'm Kyle Sweeney, joined alongside by Angus Trangmo here on the Fish Sticks Network. The Sox with an 8-3 lead going into the bottom of the 5th. And Kai Twites, who's been impressive here tonight, is back out for another inning of work. He'll be up against 7, 8, and 9. Michael Podstrelny will come up to lead things off. Again, we've been referring to him as Pods throughout the broadcast. He'll lead things off.
Yeah, an inning and 2/3 for Twites today. Still yet to give up a run. That makes it 5 scoreless to start his tenure as a fish stick.
That fastball just outside for ball 1. Pods was hit back in the 3rd and was walked back in the 2nd, so hasn't really had an opportunity to swing the bat so far. We did not see him last night. The UC Irvine Anteater watches that one inside for ball 2. So 2-0 count here in the bottom of the 5th. There was 6 scored in the bottom of the 3rd for the AppleSox. That's been the difference so far. It's an 8-3 lead. That one finds the zone for strike 1. A 2-1 count now to Pods.
Jaden Mizuno got this one started, and he had a good inning in the 2nd, but the 1st and 3rd were just not what he envisioned. And now Twites, good work in the 3rd and in the 4th now, looking for the first out in the 5th right here.
That was chopped to Tyler Eisenhut, who makes the easy play, and easy out number 1, and Pods is retired for the first time today.
This has been on brand for Twice. Just weak contact all season, and it is a really tough task keeping a lid on this AppleSox lineup. Twice doing it so far.
So that'll bring up Patterson with one gone here in the bottom of the fifth. Patterson hitting 8th in this lineup. This one's chopped towards Noah Kung. He's going to make the long throw across the diamond, and that'll get past Braden Bartholomew and into the dugout. So Patterson will advance to second. That throw a little errant. Bartholomew had to come off the bag and couldn't make the grab, so likely be E6 to Noah Kung.
That's a really tough play for Kung, but if you're Bartholomew, obviously you've got a speedy guy with Patterson coming in. You almost want to think about coming off the bag right there, making sure you field the throw and not risking another bag.
So that'll bring up the beer batter, Gage Wareham, who has not done his job well so far trying to get discount beers, is grounded into a double play and struck out in the second and the third innings. So Patterson at second after the error from Kung. That almost got past Evan Hellner behind the dish, but he keeps it in front for ball one.
I got to say, Hellner, who Barsati has been better behind the plate defensively than Hellner this year, but Hellner has done a really good job with framing and catching up to some wild pitches today.
1-0 out and away for ball two to Wareham. Wareham, a Colorado Mesa product. He's ahead 2-0. Twice looks at second base, delivers the 2-0. This one's grounded towards Kung again. This a little lighter. Kung's gonna have to make the throw, and it's beaten out at first by Wareham. So 2 consecutive plays to Noah Kung where the runners have gotten aboard. I'm not sure that'll go down as an error or not, but Kung kind of hesitated a bit before throwing and was not in time. So first and third now with 1 out for the Sox.
Yeah, just a little bit of a hesitation that turned into a crow hop for Kung, and then he almost sails the throw over Bartholomew. Maybe starting to think about that throw from short after missing the first time around in this inning. Another good stop by Hellner right there.
Hellner had to dive out to his left to control that off speed that was out of the zone. To Zach Doyle back to the top of the order for the 3rd time here in the bottom of the 5th. Doyle walked and has been hit by a pitch, has scored both times he's been on base. That one finds the zone for strike 1.
Twice has been able to be in the zone just enough to be able to get these outs, but this is obviously the first real jam that he has set up for himself today.
Twice checks over at first to Wareham. First and third scenario. We haven't seen a whole lot of action on the base pass from the AppleSox in either game in this 2-game stand. But in first and third, you got to be aware. Twice delivers, fastball in there, in the zone for strike 2. So he's ahead 1-2 to Doyle. Doyle, a ton of speed out there in center field. Part of the reason he's been able to score both times he's been on base. 1-2, taken towards Kung for the 3rd straight time. Could be 2. Eisenhut over to first. Bartholomew picks it, but not in time. So a run will come across on the fielder's choice for Zach Doyle.
Boy, he can fly. Doyle can fly, and another tailor-made double play ball set up there by Twice. The first one was courtesy of Jaden Mizuno, and a pretty clean turn from Kung and Eisenhut. Just no chance at getting Doyle at first. Ooh, almost got him there. Got him off guard, but now McGarry comes up.
Mrs. Kai McGarry for the 3rd time tonight. Doyle takes off first pitch. The throw down from Hellner is a good one, but not picked by Eisenhut. It would have been a close play, but Doyle will record a stolen base. McGarry, his last time up, ripped one down the left field line. He legged it out for a triple, and then Jake Rolling couldn't handle the relay throw, and McGarry would go home on the same play. Essentially an inside the park home run that scored 2 after he clobbered a home run the opposite way yesterday. 1-0, swung on and missed. So McGarry, the ASU guy, in the transfer portal currently after hitting .297 in 25 starts last year. A lot of talent, and he's been showing it off here in the last 24 hours against the Sticks. 1-1. Doyle takes off again, going for third. Hellner thrown on in time. Doyle steals 2 consecutive bags.
Good on Rolling to cover that up. The throw from Hellner was kind of cut off by Doyle sliding into the bag, and Rolling just had to do anything and everything to not let that dribble into left field and bring home another run.
So Doyle now at third with 2 gone. McGarry, 2-1 count, fouls it back. The count will even out at 2 apiece.
So the Fish Sticks, I mean, the comeback was pretty dead in the water yesterday, and right now a 6-run game, 9-3 Wenatchee. This is definitely a little more achievable than it was last night at this point.
Off speed, the McGarry fouls back, and yeah, as you were saying, they actually tied things up at 2 apiece back in the third, but then 6 runs in the bottom half of the inning gave the Sox a 6-run lead, which they have built once again here at 9-3 in the bottom of the 5th.
But where I was getting to with that is you got to leave runners on base, and you can't have the AppleSox delivering with runners in scoring position.
This one's chopped to Kuhn. This will be the 4th opportunity for him in the field, and nice throw, and he'll get McGarry out at first. That'll end the 5th inning, but a 9-3 lead for the AppleSox, who played it another run in the bottom of the 5th.
Another really close play over at first in this inning, but good play by Kuhn to charge in on that ball and make the throw to Bartholomew, who's got a big frame over at first. And the damage is still done by the AppleSox, who just continue to score runs. It seems like giving up 1 is a successful inning for the Fish Sticks right now, which should just never be the case. And it has been an impressive offensive output in this 2-gamer from the AppleSox.
So what's your analysis up to this point, now past the halfway mark here in Game 2? After a 24-2 victory yesterday, the AppleSox just clobbered the Fish Sticks. The Sticks actually tied it up in the 3rd, like I mentioned, but it's still 9-3. It feels like it's almost a win somehow against this tough AppleSox lineup. But what's your analysis?
I mean, obviously it doesn't feel like a win. You're down 6 runs through 5 innings, but it feels so much different from yesterday's game. Yesterday, the Fish Sticks felt dead in the water the whole way through, and now there has been some offensive life, and you've gotten some timely outs, and they are playing better, but not good enough, because Wenatchee is just probably the best lineup they're going to face all season by a wide margin. And, you know, plain and simple, this team is really good at baseball. I think that's my analysis. That's the best way I can translate it. The Wenatchee AppleSox are a really good baseball team.
So Hiroshi Johnson will come in and relieve Pelsman. It'll be the 3rd pitcher for the Sox here tonight. Johnson, 14 appearances last year at Everett Community College. Had 60 1/3 inning pitch, so guy that got a lot of traction last year. He'll come in relief of Pelsman, and he'll face off against Jake Rolling, start out the top of the 6th.
Rolling's been a tough out today. Already a double and a walk in this one.
So it'll be Rolling, Bartholomew, and Von Lowe due up. 4, 5, 6, the middle of the order for the Sticks, who are down 9-3 here in Wenatchee and looking to come back. This one's ripped down the left field line. First pitch. Rolling's going to have extra bases again. He's rounding first, going to second, and he'll stand up. His 2nd consecutive double, and Rolling keeping it rolling here in Wenatchee.
That was almost a mirror of his double earlier in this game. That time he just pulls it down the 3rd base line, and he cruises into second, and he has led off the inning every time he's come up, and it's been a leadoff base runner every single time. So really nice day at the plate for the future Bulldog.
Has just had 22 plate appearances, now leads the team in doubles in that limited time, which is pretty crazy to think about. He's now 8 for 17 on the campaign for the Fish Sticks after missing the first couple of weeks with an ankle injury. He has impressed us. Here's the 1-0 to Braden Bartholomew after that leadoff double. Thought about swinging, but that was inside. Counts at 2-0.
Got to be disciplined with, especially with runners on in a 6-run hole. You just have to put pressure on the arms for the AppleSox if you want any chance at getting back into this one.
2-0 incoming from Hiroshi Johnson. This one's fouled back.
You think I would have made that play if there was no net?
You probably would have, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You did the ghost play as if there was no net. We're still waiting for a ball. We definitely could get one. The net's not very high. We're about 5 to 6 rows back and then a couple feet behind that. Here's the 2-1 to Braden Bartholomew. Johnson takes a couple looks at rolling, fires in. This one's drilled to left field, but right at the left fielder, Max Patterson, who will make the play. Boy, that looked a lot like Bartholomew's unlucky stretch he had a few games ago, but that ball was ripped.
Bartholomew had a game earlier in this season where he had that exact hit 2 times in a row, and it was hit even harder than that one was, but we both thought that one might find green grass off the bat, and it just sits right up for out number 1 over to Patterson and left.
So that'll bring up Vaughn Lowe for the 3rd time. He singled and scored a run. An RBI single back in the 4th. That was his 10th RBI this season. That's tied for 2nd on the team. This one will get past the catcher. Going to 3rd is Rolling. He got a great jump. Podstellany couldn't throw him out in time, and Rolling's at 3rd with 1 gone.
Yeah, that'll go down as a pass ball, even though it didn't really get past Podstellany, and that's just because Rolling had a great jump on a huge secondary lead, and the moment he recognized that that ball was getting away, he was gone for 3rd.
Here's the 1-0 to Lowe, who will score another run with this ground out. That'll be his 2nd RBI. Goes right to 1st at Ethan Marr. That'll be a 2nd out of the inning, but Lowe does his job. It's now 9-4 AppleSox.
Yeah, good situational RBI right there, and you talked about this yesterday, but the 1s and 2s are necessary if you want to get back into a game like this, and a 1 spot for the Fish Sticks, obviously not as many as you need down the stretch of this game, but just kind of sticking around in this one. Still a long road back, though.
So that'll bring up Cade Galen. Takes a look at ball 1. Galen reached on an error back in the 3rd, would come around to score on a ground out from Noah Kung. And that one on the outside corner. Galen didn't like it for strike 1. 1-1 count.
That's just going to be a strike all day both ways, and while it doesn't look like a strike, it's just been a strike with this umpiring crew in Wenatchee.
Galen fouls that off. The count now 1-2 to Hiroshi Johnson. This is Johnson's 1st inning of work. He allowed a leadoff double to Jake Rolling, who would eventually advance to 3rd base on a pass ball. And then Vaughn Lowe collects his 2nd RBI of the game on a ground out to 1st. So there's 2 gone here in the top of the 6th. It's 9-4 Sox as Galen stays alive with a foul ball.
I also believe that means Lowe is now tied with Gullard for the team lead and runs batted in, which kind of just speaks to how Vaughn Lowe has delivered with runners on. And obviously the last one being a ground out, not the result he was looking for, but finding ways to drive in runs. He was a big part of that hot stretch in the past couple weeks.
Here's the 1-2 to Galen. He rips this down the right field line, and that'll stay fair. All the way to the wall. Galen's got serious speed. He's looking to win at 3rd base, but he'll stay at 2nd. And, boy, that's got to feel good for Cade Galen. That's his 1st extra base hit of the season, and he's at 2nd with 2 gone.
How about that piece from Cade Galen? That ball was scorched over the head of Marr at 1st base and into the deep corner out in right field. McGarry had no chance at him at 2nd, and you're right, he thought about 3rd, and with his wheels, I wouldn't blame him if he tried to go for 3rd right there, but a smart move to stick around at 2nd and give Eisenhut, who already has a double in this game, a chance to bring him home.
Johnson looks at Cade Galen at 2nd. The 1st pitch incoming to Eisenhut. Fires in a strike, a fastball right down the middle. Eisenhut doubled and scored back in the 3rd. He was the 2nd run of the game and then flew out to center field back in the 4th. So 0-1 count with 2 gone. Here in the top of the 6th, 1 run already across. Johnson delivers, fouled off by Eisenhut, who's behind Or now the count evens out 1-1.
Johnson has put a lot of balls in the zone. It's just been a matter of the Fish Sticks being able to find barrels.
I was correct the first time. It is 0-2 now. Johnson, a couple looks to Galen at second. He'll deliver. This one's headed towards foul territory in deep right field. And that's where it'll land.
Galen ripped a ball into right center for a double, and that was a good sign for Eisenhut. Excuse me, I said Galen the first time around, but that ball was scorched by Eisenhut earlier in this game, and it brought home a run. And this is a guy that we both really like.
0-2 from Johnson, way outside for ball one. And the reason that we've seen so much from him is how much he walks. He has 8 walks on the season, has a .387 on base percentage. Has kind of struggled at the plate a little bit from a hitting perspective. And every time he gets on, it's via a line drive or a walk. Here's the 1-2 with 2 gone. That one's upstairs for ball 2.
Now he's showing off the reason why he gets so many walks and finds his way on base so often is he falls behind 0-2 and then a couple foul balls and a couple good watches. Count is even now.
2-2 with 2 gone. Cade Galen just had a double. He's at second. 9-4 ball game. Johnson delivers. This one's hit well into left field, but it'll be right at Max Peterson. The wind helped a little bit for the Sox, and that'll end the inning. But a 9-4 lead. The Sticks get one across in the top of the 6th. To the bottom of the 6th we go here in Wenatchee.
For over 15 years, As You Wish Electric has offered the comprehensive electrical solutions Seattle families trust. We are proud to announce that we can now also serve your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. As we grow, we are committed to delivering the same knowledgeable and friendly experience that earned our spot as the region's top-rated electrical company. Contact As You Wish Electric Plumbing, Heating, and Air today to learn more.
Once upon a home in the Issaquah Highlands, the Parkers used Thumbtack for a new kitchen island. Now the pizza is cooking and the kids are excited. Thank goodness for Thumbtack and all it provided. Start your home story on Thumbtack.
Twight's out there once again here in the bottom of the 6th from Wenatchee. He's pitched really well so far tonight, his second appearance, and continuing what he built on in his first appearance of the season just a couple days ago.
Yeah, right now he's sitting at 6 scoreless innings on the season, 2 2/3 of those coming today, and I like the choice to keep him in. He's the only Fish Sticks pitcher that we've seen that has really had an answer for this AppleSox lineup in some way, so Twights will stick around out there. And it was not scoreless. A run came in back in the 5th inning. I think I need some glasses up here in the booth, but it has been good, and 2 2/3 of 1-run ball might not sound great, but against this lineup, that is a win. I don't care what anyone says.
Well, he did walk in a run with the bases loaded. That run was given to Jaden Mizuno as an earned run.
Tyler Jones.
So back here in the bottom of the 6th in Wenatchee, it's a 9-4 lead for the Sox, but Kai Twights has been pitching well. It's 3-4-5 due up for the Sox, and Tyler Jones is not an easy out. First pitch swinging over to right field. Jackson Dulé will be under it for out number 1. Again, Dulé replaced Riley Sonoy, who exited the game after it looked like a right groin injury, beating out a ball to first. That'll be out number 1.
Yeah, and a really big first out. I mean, 1 pitch and 1 out to get Tyler Jones, who went 5 for 6 yesterday. That is a great start to the inning for Twights.
I'll bring up Jake Overstreet, the Kansas Jayhawk. Overstreet's been a tough out. He doubled back in the 3rd. An RBI double. He also came around to score. He looks at strike 1 from Twights. He also walked back in the 4th.
It's really no coincidence that the righties that have thrown today have overall performed better than the lefties, just with how strong the winds have been in Wenatchee tonight.
0-1 from Twights. Same pitch, misses outside. The count will even out at 1 apiece. So here in the bottom of the 6th, the sun is starting to set. The shadow has completely engulfed Paul Thomas Senior Stadium here in the Valley. 1-1 swung on and fouled off. And Overstreet will be behind 0-2, or 1-2.
I think the difference between Twites and the rest of the Fish Sticks pitchers we've seen over the course of the past 2 days is he's forcing a lot more swing and misses. And the AppleSox, I mean, they've been able to see anything and everything the Fish Sticks have thrown. This is the first sign of bullpen movement we've seen with Twites up today.
So Beckett Turnbow, who pitched yesterday, is up and moving, another hard-throwing right-hander in the bullpen. So it's 2-2 now to Jake Overstreet with 1 gone here in the 6th. Twites delivers. This one's fouled off.
Fouled off way into a basketball game over there.
Pickup game. A couple outdoor courts here at Wenatchee Valley College. Sun's still painting the hills out there past the outfield fence. The wind is still prevalent. Here's the 2-2 from Twites, up in the zone and too far up. The count will even up.
It's a good take by Overstreet, especially with how generous the zone has been for pitchers today. That misses just up to Jake Overstreet.
The count will actually fill up. It is 3-2 with 1 gone to Overstreet. Here's the payoff from Twites. Almost hit Overstreet. Overstreet will take his bag for the 2nd consecutive at-bat, and he'll be at first with 1 away.
You can see Twites frustrated that he lost Overstreet right there because he really did have him in a 1-2 count, and instead a runner comes on with 1 out. And if you're Twites, when you see the bullpen start to move, you know that these are probably your final batters of the day. You want to get those outs as quick as possible.
That'll bring up Joe Coupland, who's DHing and hitting in the 5-hole. He's 0 for 3 tonight after hitting .339 this summer. Twites delivers. This one's ripped into left field. That'll be a base hit. So right as I say that, Coupland with his first hit of the game, and now 2 are aboard with 1 out.
That's more of what we saw last night in the 24-2 drubbing. Just a lot of line drives into the shallow outfield, especially up the middle. Also a defensive substitution on the left side of the infield. Jacob Rowling is now at short. Luke Parker comes in at 3rd, and Alex Amada moves into Tyler Eisenhut's spot at 2nd.
Twites delivers, and boy, Ethan Marr to dive out of the way to avoid getting hit in the face by that pitch. So he'll step off and kind of regroup after that. It'll be a 1-0 count. DeGallier will come up and talk to Twites at the mound, the assistant coach for the Sticks.
That's a scary one if you're Ethan Marr. And Twites, I mean, he's got velocity, but we have seen a couple of those get away from him. And Turnbow warming up in the pen, kind of the same story with him. So got to be able to find the zone here down the stretch if you're the Fish Sticks.
So it's a 9-4 lead for the Sox here in the bottom of the 6th. They scored 6 runs in the bottom of the 3rd to blow the game open. The Sticks have kind of crawled back into it with 2 runs in the 3rd and then a run in the 4th and the top of this inning to keep the game within reach. But right now the Sox have 2 on with 1 away and a 1-0 count to Ethan Marr, who did a lot of damage yesterday. Was 4 for 5 in that game and wasn't even the best hitter on the team in that one, which is just pretty astounding to say. Here's the 1-0, up and in again. Boy, that's a little dangerous for Guy Twites. And the count is 2-0.
We already saw him earlier in the outing lose control of a couple to that same spot in a row. So maybe just a coincidence or a pattern for Twites, I don't know.
2-0 and coming to Marr with 2 on. That one way outside on the off speed, and Marr's ahead 3-0.
So now Twites behind 3-0, and he's starting to lose the control. Obviously Marr a dangerous hitter, but it's important Twites can battle back here. You don't want to leave Turnbow with the bases loaded.
3-0 is outside for ball 4.
I would assume Turnbow comes in right here. DeGallier is signaling over to the bullpen, and he's going to make the walk out to the mound.
So that'll be the end of the night for Kai Twites. DeGallier motions, and Beckett Turnbow will come in. So the Sticks going to another pitcher. Turnbow running to the mound.
Wendy's went back to the kitchen to give our famous spicy chicken sandwich a total upgrade. More crunch, more flavor, with heat that just hits. Is this our best spicy chicken ever? Looks like a yes to me. Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
They always say, think happy thoughts. It's easy when you're a Wendy's Cookie Dough Frosty Fusion. I'm an instant dopamine hit. Get it? Dope-amine? Like cookie dough. I said like cookie dough! Happiness is a Cookie Dough Frosty Fusion at Wendy's.
Oh, Audrey, look over there.
Where? Oh, a whole herd of reindeer beers.
Not herds, Audrey. Rainier's come in 6-pack.
Oh,
Wake up, Harley.
Harley, look at the reindeers. Oh, they're just so fresh and friendly.
You ever wonder how Crispy gets to the fryer for games? He uses King County Metro's Rapid Ride H-Line. King County Metro, the official commute of your DubSea Fish Sticks.
So Beckett Turnbow taking an extensive warm-up in relief of Kai Twites, who leaves with the bases loaded and 1 out. Turnbow, we saw him yesterday, has 8 innings pitched on the season. Control, a big issue though. He has 13 walks in those 8 innings.
Yeah, he sure does, and we sound like a broken record every time he comes in, but when that fastball is in the zone, it is near impossible to make contact for a hit if you're a hitter. It's just a matter of if he's able to find the zone on a consistent basis.
So a 9-4 lead here in the bottom of the 6th for the AppleSox. Michael Podstrelny. Pods will come up with the bases juiced, looking to add on to this 5-run lead for the Sox. First pitch from Turnbow, low. And it's 1-0 count to Pods. And Hellner catching behind the plate, so 2 incoming freshmen going to New Mexico State. This little tandem right here between Turnbow and Hellner is pretty cool.
We've seen this a couple times with Cole Nutfer and Peyton Barsotti, who are going to play together at St. Mary's next season.
Here's the 1-0 in the zone, fouled off by Pods. Podstrelny grounded out to second base his last time up, was hit by a pitch and walked back in the 3rd and the 2nd inning before that. Overstreet at 3rd, Coupland at 2nd, and Marr at 1st. Turnbow delivers off speed is low for ball 2.
Sometimes Turnbow can get a little fastball happy, and I like turning to the off speed right there on the 3rd pitch of his outing, as Podstrelny doesn't bite.
2-1 with 1 gone and coming from Turnbow with the bases loaded. He delivers fastball in the zone for strike 2.
That's what I'm talking about, is when that fastball is well located and it's in the strike zone. Podstrelny's been behind it once and then just watched Turnbow paint the corner the 2nd time around.
Count even at 2-2. This would be a big out for Turnbow with 1 gone and the bases loaded. He delivers in there, called strike 3. Great first batter for Beckett Turnbow. He's 1 out away from getting out of this jam.
So now all it takes is a force out a bag or a fly ball to get out of this 6th inning clean. That is one of the bigger strikeouts you're going to see this summer.
So I'll bring up Max Patterson. He reached on an error from Noah Kuhn last inning and came around to score. Off speed from Turnbow in there for strike 1. Boy, this is the best we have seen Beckett Turnbow so far this summer.
Obviously, it's really early in his outing, but that's not a crazy claim to make. Just pumping the zone, pumping the zone. That's what it's all about for him.
Delivers the 0-1 fastball taken right towards Alex Hamada at second, and Beckett Turnbow will get out of the jam. The Fish Sticks will go to the top of the 7th, but still a lot of work to do, trailing 9-4 here in Wenatchee.
That is such a welcome sight for Beckett Turnbow, though. I mean, a strikeout, and then he forces a ground out to Alex Hamada and gets out of bases loaded, 1-out jam. Doesn't allow a run. That is huge for him because, simply put, he's kind of struggled on the mound this season, and that is a great get-back outing after a tough one yesterday.
So still 5 runs behind of the Sox going into the top of the 7th, but again, a very improved game from yesterday. The game was already well out of hand by this point, but the Fish Sticks have looked so much better on both sides of the ball, and really it started with Twites, but the pitching has looked better as well.
Yeah, and you know, my eyes go straight to that 6-run 3rd inning, and obviously in a 5-run game, that's going to be the difference, and it hasn't been because of a hit parade from the AppleSox or anything like that. It's just a few too many walks and hit batsmen from this pitching staff that turned into a big inning back in the 3rd, and now the Fish Sticks, who are hitting a lot better today than they did yesterday as well, have a long road back, but it will be Luke Parker leading off the inning.
So Parker came in at 3rd. He'll hit for Noah Kuhn, who has had an RBI ground out and has hit really well as of late. So 9-1-2 due up for the Sticks, and Parker, the Colorado School of Mines kid, will come in and lead off the inning.
Derek Render will come in for the AppleSox, and yet another righty arm in this series. It's been pretty crazy, really, but it also makes really good sense given which way the wind is blowing here in Wenatchee.
So Render from Utah Tech, attended Boulder City High School. He'll be the 4th pitcher of the game and will be the 12th overall and the 11th right-handed pitcher of this 2-game stand against the Sticks. Pelsman, who came in relief of Ty Skyleman, who started the game, was the only lefty that the Sox have thrown out so far in the past 24 hours. So Parker, we saw him at the mound, or on the mound yesterday. He comes in and pinch hits for Noah Kuhn, and he'll lead off the top of the 7th here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium in Wenatchee.
Only 5 innings of work for Render on the summer. Has compiled an ERA just north of 5.
First pitch swinging, first pitch single for Luke Parker. That'll squeak through the right side of the infield for a base hit.
Yeah, great piece of hitting from Parker right there, and kind of sets the tone. Against Derek Render, leadoff runners are starting to become a trend for the Fish Sticks. Obviously, it helps when Jacob Rolling is able to reach as the leadoff man 3 times in the first 6 innings, but that ball was pieced.
So that'll bring up the top of the order for the 4th time tonight. Rylan Gullard will step in the batter's box. Gullard is 0 for 2 with a sac fly. And it looks like Pod Strelany will go out and talk to Derek Render. So the first pitch he threw was a single through the right side by Luke Parker, who's on first to start out the top of the 7th.
With the top of the order coming up, obviously Render and Pod Strelany want to make sure they're on the same page, and it's easy for a pitcher to get rattled after giving up a first pitch hit, especially one that is just crushed like the one Luke Parker just had.
So Parker over at first. This will just be the 2nd pitch for Render in relief. Fastball fired low for ball 1. Gullard fouled off a myriad of pitches in his last at-bat in the 5th before finally waving at strike 3. There's the 1-0 from Render, lined into right field. That'll be another base hit. The second of the inning for the Fish Sticks, and 2 are aboard with nobody gone here in the top of the 7th.
And the hit streak continues for Rylan Gullard. It is a 15-game hit streak for the former Linfield Wildcat. I think any coach that sees his name in the transfer portal is going to be reaching out, especially with the numbers he's putting up with the Fish Sticks. 15-game hit streak. That's incredible, really.
So he'll be at first, his first hit of the night, and Jackson Dulay will come out for the first time this evening. He takes a look at strike 1 on a pitch that looked like it was outside of the zone. So Dulay replaced Sonoy, who got on back in the 5th inning after it looked like a right groin injury to Riley Sonoy beating out a throw. So Dulay is in at right field, and he swings and misses and is behind 0-2.
Obviously, Dulay, a plenty capable hitter. Average currently sitting at 276, but you would love to have Riley Sonoy up in this situation with how he's been swinging the stick recently.
0-2 now to Dulay, who's hitting 276 on the summer, way outside for ball 1.
Good cover up from Pods right there. That is a tough pitch to go out and get from Render, and Parker and Gullard both ready to run on the base path.
So both Luke Parker, who's at second, and Rylan Gullard, who's at first, singled to the right side of the outfield. That one in the turf, that'll get past Pods, and both runners will advance. So second and third now with nobody out. And a base hit here could kind of change the momentum of this game. The Sox still leading 9-4, but 2 in scoring position with nobody gone.
Yeah, and with nobody out in the heart of the order coming up for the Fish Sticks, this is probably the opportunity that they need to take advantage of to get back into this game.
Evan Hellner on deck. Jake Rolling, who has 2 doubles, is in the hole. This one's grounded towards third. Luke Parker will have to stay. A fantastic pick off the throw from Ethan Marr, who extended to get that one. That'll be out number 1, and all the runners will stay.
Boy, that is such a pick from Ethan Marr, and we see a lot of good picks from Braden Bartholomew here on the Fish Sticks Network, but that is one of the best ones you'll see all summer. Just what a stretch. That's incredible.
So that throw from Overstreet, a little errant, but Marr does his best to cover it up. 1 gone, 2 in scoring position here in the top of the 7th. That'll be outside to Evan Hellner. So 1-0 to Hellner, who after going 4 for 5 yesterday is 0 for 3 here tonight. He struck out his last time up back in the 5th. 1-0 taken towards the right side of the infield. That'll score a run. The play is made from Gage Wareham, but Hellner will plate another run. It is 9-5 now for the Sox.
And the Sticks, I mean, just chipping away right now. They went down 8-2, and this is the closest this game has been since that big 3rd inning for the AppleSox.
So Jake Rolling, who has doubled his last 2 times up, first down the right field line and last inning down the left field line. To lead things off, he would eventually come around to score. That fastball is in the bottom part of the zone for strike 1.
Bringing home Gullard right here would be a big moment for the Fish Sticks if they want to come back in this game. You can't leave runners in scoring position with a deficit right now.
Rolling grounds this towards short. Going to be a tough play for Jones. He makes it look easy. Fires across the diamond for the 3rd out of the inning. But another run will come across here in the top of the 7th for the Sticks. Going to the 7th inning stretch, we will go. And a 9-5 lead for the Sox.
Once upon a home, in a Seattle bungalow, the Huffs searched on Thumbtack to find their next pro. Now the job is all done, and the table is set. The hot dogs taste better on their fancy new deck. Start your home story on Thumbtack.
You ever wonder how Crispy gets to the fryer for games? He uses King County Metro's Rapid Ride H-Line. King County Metro, the official commute of your DubSea Fish Sticks.
For over 15 years, As You Wish Electric has offered the comprehensive electrical solutions Seattle families trust. We are proud to announce that we can now also serve your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. As we grow, we are committed to delivering the same knowledgeable and friendly experience that earned our spot as the region's top-rated electrical company. Contact As You Wish Electric, Plumbing, Heating, and Air today to learn more.
Beckett Turnbow back on the mound for the Sticks, and it was a great 2/3 of an inning in relief. Found himself in a bases-loaded jam with one gone before coming in. He looked impressive.
He sure did. The underlying issue for Turnbow all season has been consistently living in the zone, and he lived in the zone back in the 6th inning. A strikeout followed by a ground out over to Hamada at second base, and a huge bases-loaded jam escape for Turnbow. He gets the nod here in the bottom of the 7th.
So a 9-5 lead still for the AppleSox. It'll be 9-1-2 due up as Gage Wareham takes a look at ball 1. So Turnbow sat down Michael Podstrelny with a strikeout to begin the outing, as that one's low for ball 2. And then got Max Peterson to ground out to second base to Alex Hamada to end the inning in what could have gotten out of control here in Wenatchee if a couple base runners had gotten aboard with the bases loaded. So 9-5 we are after a run in the top of the 7th, and the count now 3-0 to Wareham, the leadoff batter here in the 7th.
Wareham had such a good day yesterday, drove in 5 runs, and we haven't seen that same caliber from him today. The beer batter here at the stadium.
3-0 swung on and missed. Interesting approach on a 3-0 count. Looking to get some discounts on beers. Wareham had a single in the 5th, so that'll mean $1 off beer. Looking to add on to that. 3-1 from Turnbow, finds the outside part of the zone for strike 2. So coming back after the 3-0 count will fill up.
We've seen a few 4-pitch walks from him already this season, so really good job by Turnbow to battle back here and force it into a payoff pitch coming up.
3-2 from Turnbow. Fastball swung on and hit, and this is going to find the Bermuda Triangle out there in left field. Wareham's looking for 2. Galen's going to toss it in, not in time. And Wareham, that will go down as a double, possibly the weakest hit double of the entire summer that we've seen. It just reached shallow left field after he just lunged at that baseball. A little unlucky for Beckett Turnbow.
And that was an absolute sidewinder when it bounced out in left field. It rolled deep into foul territory. Galen playing deep out in left field as well, just to keep everything in front of him. And Wareham can go, so that's a double and $2 off beer at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium.
Back to the top of the order with Zach Doyle, who's got probably the most speed we've seen out of any opposing player the Sticks have faced. He'll look at ball 1. Stole 2 bases back in the 5th after reaching on a fielder's choice. Has also walked and been hit by a pitch in this game. Turnbow taking a look at Wareham at second, fires in on the corner for strike 1.
It's just been night and day for Turnbow today as far as having a pitch that he can find the zone with, and with his velo, he is really hard to hit when he's in the zone.
Here's the 1-1, just misses high for ball 2 to Doyle. Again, Doyle, one of the 2 UC Irvine Anteaters in this lineup alongside the catcher Michael Podstrelny. Two-one count here in the bottom of the 7th. Wareham leadoff double at second. Turnbow delivers, and it catches the inside part of the zone for strike 2.
And Doyle was frozen right there. Turnbow, just a huge discrepancy in the velocity between his fastball and his off-speed stuff. Makes him so hard to read.
Turnbow, a couple looks at Wareham, delivers 2-2, off-speed, catches the part of the plate for strike 3. He sits down, Doyle looking. That's the second strikeout of the night for Turnbow. He's turning in a great performance in relief right now.
That is nasty. He comes in through the back door on Doyle and once again freezes him with the off-speed. Now McGarry, who has had a great day at the plate, will step up.
After going 3 for 6 with a home run yesterday, McGarry a triple, an RBI, and a run back in the third, and was hit by a pitch back in the first. This one's ripped towards left field. The wind has died down, doesn't have enough. It hits the wall. This will be extra bases for McGarry, and now second and third with one down. Boy, that almost got out, which is the first time we would see such instance to left field.
Yeah, that ball was crushed, and he just turns Turnbow's velocity into a hard hit into left field. Galen playing a pretty neutral depth on McGarry, and good on Galen to get that ball in really quickly to rolling it short and keep Wareham at third somehow. He didn't score on that.
He must have thought the wind was going to help that fly ball and that Galen was going to get to it. He didn't take a very big jump off a second. He'll stay at third base, but 2 in scoring position now for Tyler Jones, the former Oregon Duck. He takes a look at strike 1. Jones heading now to be a Portland Pilot. Had a sensational day yesterday, was 5 for 6 with a walk and scored all 6 times he was on the base paths. Here's the 0-1 from Turnbow, off speed, just catches the bottom part of the zone. He's ahead 0-2.
Off speed has been really good today for Turnbow, and credit to both him and Evan Hellner. They know it's working, and they are going to it more often than I think we've ever seen Turnbow throw that off-speed pitch.
Turnbow shakes off a couple pitches from future teammate at New Mexico State, Evan Hellner. 0-2 delivers, swung on and missed for strike 3 from Jones. That's the third strikeout for Turnbow. Now 2 gone with runners on second and third.
We saw him get out of a bases loaded 1-out jam back in the 6th in a 9-4 game. Now it's 9-5 in the 7th. Runners on third and second with 1 out, and a huge strikeout of Tyler Jones. Now Overstreet comes up with 2 down, and this is a big out. It seems like the Fish Sticks have been on their last legs for a few innings now and just kind of lurking in this game.
That'll bring up Jake Overstreet with 2 gone. Fastball up and in for ball 1 to the Kansas Jayhawk. Overstreet, 2 consecutive walks in the 6th and the 4th. Had an RBI double back in the 3rd, would also score in that inning. Again, 6-run bottom of the 3rd right now is the difference for the AppleSox, who lead 9-5. That one catches the zone in the upper part for strike 1.
This has got to be really fun for Turnbow and Hellner, given that they're going to go play with each other in college down in Las Cruces to find success.
Turnbow gets the sign from Hellner. Here's the 1-1, and it's fouled towards the AppleSox dugout. Turnbow 1 strike away from getting out of this jam.
This will be the 2nd straight escape for Turnbow, and ahead 1-2. We've seen him lose a couple batters this season. He cannot do that here to a talented hitter like Overstreet.
Overstreet will take his time. So 1-2 count, a double from Kai McGarry. He's at second, and a double from Gage Wareham. Wareham didn't score on that double because he thought McGarry's double was going to get caught by the left fielder, Cade Galen, but it traveled all the way to the wall. Here's the 1-2. High and inside. Overstreet almost swung. That's ball 2. The count will even out.
Same pitch he struck out Jones with, and Overstreet almost swings and misses. He would have had no chance of making contact with that if he offered.
2-2 count now with 2 gone here in the bottom of the 7th. A 9-5 lead for the AppleSox. Overstreet has a chance to add on to that. Here's a 2-2. Finds the outside part of the zone for strike 3. And Turnbow strikes out the side. We're going to the top of the 8th. The Fish Sticks still within striking distance, but behind 9-5. They've got 6 outs to figure it out. But boy, Beckett Turnbow turning in a fantastic relief appearance.
Far and away the best we've seen Beckett Turnbow pitch this year. I think only 1 hit that was really pieced up on the double by Kai McGarry, and the other hit he gave up, just kind of a bloop. that found green grass in shallow left field. But man, that was a different Beckett Turnbow than we saw yesterday on the mound.
So Derek Render, the righty, will return for the AppleSox. It'll be 5, 6, 7 due up for the Sticks. But right now, Angus, you got to be thinking, okay, 9-5 deficit. The Fish Sticks find themselves in this ball game. It could have gotten away a little bit early, but now they've got a chance.
It seems like it's felt like, well, if this doesn't happen, the Fish Sticks are done. It's over, and they've just been able to kind of stick around in this game the whole way, and 4 runs in 2 innings is very doable. We've seen this team put out 9 runs in an inning, 8 runs in an inning. It was kind of their way to win a game early in this season, to just ride one huge inning to a victory. And now, 4-run deficit, this team can get a lot of hits in a hurry, and you've got Bartholomew, then Vaughn Lowe, who's already driven in a couple today, and then Cade Galen, who had a double earlier in this one and also scored a run. So they're seeing the ball a lot better today. This is just such a welcome sight after just one of the worst broadcasts, one of the worst games you could ever broadcast last night. And they are within striking distance, but it is going to take quite a rally, I think, especially against a talented AppleSox team.
Well, after losing 24-2 last night, being down 9-5 here in the top of the 8th is a welcoming sign. But 10 runs were plated in the bottom of the 8th inning yesterday by the AppleSox. Again, the 6-run 3rd inning is the difference right now. And the Fish Sticks still out hitting the Sox 9-8. Render's first pitch to Braden Bartholomew in there for strike 1.
Looks like it will be Bartholomew, Lowe, Galen. They're going to stick with the starters here. Alex Hamada did come in for Eisenhut defensively, so he is going to be following Galen. If anyone reaches, he'll come up here in the 8th.
Bartholomew 0 for 3 with 3 flyouts. Had a line out back in the 6th. Pieced the ball, but right at the right or left fielder, Max Patterson. This one's taken a third. Should be an easy play for Overstreet. He makes the throw over to first, and Bartholomew is retired for the 4th time today.
Render is an interesting pitcher because he definitely pitches to contact quite a bit, and sometimes it results in some easy ground balls for his infield, but also sometimes the Fish Sticks have seen it out of the hand and crushed it. We already saw a couple hard hit balls from this lineup off Devin Render today, or Derek Render, excuse me.
So 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Vaughn Lowe will step to the plate. He's been DHing, rips this up the middle. That'll be a single for Vaughn Lowe. Continuing a great day. That'll be his 2nd single. Also had an RBI ground out back in the 6th. So a couple of hits and an RBI for Vaughn Lowe. Good bounce back game from him after entering the day, 1 for his last 13.
We've seen Vaughn Lowe get hot in a hurry already this season, and you can only hope with 4 more game days after this, all at the Friar, he can carry this over into a home series.
This is the Game 3 of the 3-game road trip out to Central Washington for the Sticks. Cade Galen steps to the plate. He looks at ball 1 high. Galen doubled off a ball that was lined down the right field line for his first extra base hit of the season back in the 6th inning. So 10 hits now for the Sticks. Have only been able to plate 5. Only, I should say. This one's blooped out to left field. Coming in is Patterson. He'll make the grab for out number 2.
You thought maybe that ball would have a chance, especially if the wind was able to knock it down, but Patterson did make that look easy. I think it just stood up a little too long for Galen. And now the first AB for Alex Hamada today.
Hamada made a nice play at second base at a line drive right at him to get out of the jam back in the 6th. He replaced Tyler Eisenhut, as the two have done to each other all season long. And he's up with 2 gone here in the top of the 8th. Render a couple looks at first to Lowe. He delivers low, and that'll get past Pod Strelany, and Lowe will take his base.
A lot of low going on over there with Kyle, as that pitch was spiked into the turf, and Vaughn Lowe, a very easy bag for him. Now a runner in scoring position. We've seen Hamada already driving a few with base hits with runners on second. We saw it on opening night. Drove in the first run of the season in this exact situation.
Hamada struggling a bit right now. He's hitting just 179 on the summer. Has 5 hits and 3 RBIs this season. And he's ahead 2-0 right now. So low on second with 2 gone here in the top of the 8th. The AppleSox with a 9-5 lead. As Derek Render delivers, this one slowly chopped towards Jones at short. He's been stellar over there, and he continues that with a nice play to first. So Hamada is retired, and that'll end the top of the 8th. The AppleSox going to the bottom of the inning with a 9-5 lead.
Wendy's went back to the kitchen to give our famous spicy chicken sandwich a total upgrade. More crunch, more flavor, with heat that just hits. Is this our best spicy chicken ever? Looks like a yes to me. Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
They always say, think happy thoughts. It's easy when you're a Wendy's cookie dough frosty fusion. I'm an instant dopamine hit. Get it? Dopamine? Like cookie dough. I said like cookie dough! Happiness is a cookie dough frosty fusion at Wendy's.
Oh, Audrey, look over there.
Where? Oh, a whole herd of reindeer beers.
Not herds, Audrey. Rainier's come in 6-packs.
Oh.
Wake up, Harley.
Harley, look at the reindeers. Oh, they're just so fresh and friendly.
You ever wonder how Crispy gets to the fryer for games? He uses King County Metro's Rapid Ride H-Line.
Five, 6, 7 due up here in the bottom of the 8th for the AppleSox with a 9-5 lead here in Wenatchee. Beckett Turnbow out again to try to continue his strong performance in relief. Coupland fouls back, strike 1.
Coupland, I think we probably expected him to be more of a factor tonight and just hasn't had his best day at the plate.
Coupland 1 for 4 after entering the game, hitting .339 in 19 appearances. Turnbow delivers the 0-1 way high, and the count will even out at 1 apiece. That's kind of what we've been seeing from Turnbow a little bit when he's struggled with his control, but right now is entering his 3rd inning of work in shutout fashion.
Yeah, right now 1 2/3 innings of work for Turnbow so far today. Only the 3rd pitcher that the Fish Sticks have used, and he really has been stellar. Has left 5 on base in the 2 innings he has gotten out of.
2-1 count now to Joe Coupland. Turnbow gets set. Delivers the 2-1. This one's fouled straight back.
Thought that might be our chance at finally getting a ball here in Wenatchee. That was coming towards us, but cleared us by quite a bit.
So the sun is pretty much fully set. There's some pink skies out there in left field. We've seen a couple beautiful sunsets on this 3-game road trip here to Eastern Washington, especially one down in Yakima a couple days ago. Here's the 2-2 right on the corner for strike 3. Man, Beckett Turnbow, take a bow. He's sat down 4 of the last 5 batters he's faced. That's his 5th strikeout.
Yeah, I will take this any day from Beckett Turnbow. That's a few strikeouts looking as well, and it's so hard to catch up to that fastball. It gives hitters no time to really make up their mind on whether they want to swing or not, and before it's too late, it is painting the corner today.
I'll bring up the Husky, the UW Husky, Ethan Marr, who takes a big hack at strike 1. Marr had a big day yesterday, was 4 for 5. Was hit by a pitch back in the 3rd, but has not had nearly the same effect. It's a pretty high standard for yesterday. That one's fired outside for ball 1.
Just missed his spot by a little bit, Turnbow did, and tough look for the ump as Hellner had to go outside and get that one. Made it look worse than it actually was for ball one.
1-1 now to Ethan Marr, who's made a couple nice picks at first. This one swung on and missed for strike two.
Yeah, he's forcing swing and misses, and then he's getting strikeouts looking in some cases. It's just really all clicking for Turnbow so far today.
Turnbow shakes off a couple from future college teammate Evan Hellner behind the dish. Comes set, fires the 1-2 that's fouled off by Marr. So a battle right now between Turnbow and Marr. Turnbow has 5 strikeouts right now in the 8 batters he's faced. Coming in relief for Kai Twites. Mizuno, Jaden Mizuno, the lefty, started things off. Twites had an extended run of relief, and now Turnbow looking for the same. Here's the 1-2, almost swung on, but Marr held up on the high cheese. The count leaving out at 2 apiece.
There's been a couple chases, including Marr in this same at-bat, of that fastball up high. Just kind of running up out of Turnbow's hand.
Turnbow comes set, 2-2 with 1 gone to Marr. Swings and misses at an off speed for strike 3. My goodness, 4 straight strikeouts right now for Turnbow. There's 2 gone.
Yeah, and after every single one he's taken a lap, you can just see the confidence in the body language for Turnbow right now. And that is a perfectly timed off-speed pitch on Marr, the righty, and it just falls off the plate. And a big-time chase for strikeout number 6 for Beckett Turnbow today.
That'll bring up Michael Podstrelny behind the dish tonight for the Sox. He struck out looking back in the 6th. Turnbow fires in, off speed in there for strike 1. He's got it going.
Yeah, no reason to take him out right now, and Mark Lynn knows that. There is no one going in the Sticks bullpen for the time being.
Turnbow delivers the 0-1. That's a bit outside for ball 1 now. To the second of 2 UC Irvine Anteaters in this lineup. Zach Doyle, the leadoff man, the other.
Podstrelny was the first batter Turnbow faced in this game, so it's been 1 time around the lineup for Beckett Turnbow. He struck him out with the bases loaded and 1 down earlier in this game. Turnbow kind of slipped off the mound right there. I thought he might be grabbing at something, but it looks like he's okay.
We already saw Riley Sonoy go down with a groin injury, another outfielder for this team that was hitting really well alongside Gavin George that are now injured. So we'll get an update tomorrow for the game back at the Friar against the Dudes to see if what's going on with Sonoy, as that one's fired low in the zone for strike 2.
Dule, who came in, is having a good year in his own right, but man, the heater that Riley Sonoy was on, it is tough to see him go down with an injury. Didn't look nearly as severe as Gavin George's was. 2-2
taking the opposite way, but right at Cade Galen, who will camp out under it for out number 3. So what a appearance in relief for Beckett Turnbow. 1-2-3 inning, but the AppleSox up 9-5, and the Sticks have one last chance going into the top of the 9th.
For over 15 years, As You Wish Electric has offered the comprehensive electrical solutions Seattle families trust. We are proud to announce that we can now also serve your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. As we grow, we are committed to delivering the same knowledgeable and friendly experience that earned our spot as the region's top-rated electrical company. Contact As You Wish Electric Plumbing, Heating, and Air today to learn more.
Once upon a home in the Issaquah Highlands, the Parkers used Thumbtack for a new kitchen island. Now the pizza is cooking and the kids are excited. Thank goodness for Thumbtack and all it provided. Start your home story on Thumbtack.
To the top of the 9th we go. It's the last gasp for the Fish Sticks, who are down 9-5 against the Wenatchee AppleSox here in Wenatchee at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Kyle Sweeney and Angus Trangmo with you. It looks like Rodrigo Montano will come up to lead off the 9th. He'll be replacing Luke Parker, who replaced Noah Coog in the 9-hole position. So it'll be 9-1-2 due up, and Levi Grothin, a right-handed pitcher, will come in to try to close things out here for the AppleSox.
Grothin from Woodinville in the Seattle area. Spent last year at Cal State Bakersfield. On theme, his walkout song is about the city of Bakersfield, California, and not many appearances for Levi Grothin. And, you know, in a non-league game, obviously you're trying out some arms, but only 2 1/3 for Grothin this past season with the Roadrunners, one of my favorite mascots in all of college sports. And Grothin, I mean, definitely an interesting one to put in right here, but he has been great for the AppleSox this season, 8 1/3 and an ERA of 2.16. So there's a lot of guys on this team that maybe didn't have the best numbers in their college seasons, but have thrived in Wenatchee.
So the AppleSox looking for their 2nd win in as many days against the Fish Sticks and trying to improve to 21-8 on the summer. The Sticks entered this game at 9-6. They were 9-5 yesterday before the 24-2 blowout win for the AppleSox. But they came in, the Sticks did, and defeated the Yakima Valley Pippins in Yakima to start off the 3-game road trip. But tomorrow they will return home to the Friar for a 4-game homestand, first against the Redmond Dudes, who they saw 4 times last week, and then a 3-game stand over July 4th weekend against the Washington A's. We're excited for that one. But right now, they've got 4 runs to make up here in the top of the 9th. That's ball 1 to Rodrigo Montano.
Haven't seen much of Montano at the plate, but success in a very small sample size. He's 2 for 5 this season with a double.
Seen him a couple of times on the mound as well. That's low for ball 2 from Grothin.
And it is integral that Montano reaches base here in a 4-run game in the 9th, especially with Rylan Gullard on deck and the heart of the order around the corner.
2-0 swung on, fouled off into the catcher's mitt, and a 2-1 count now to Montano. Montano will be joining Luke Parker and Kenji Bray at the Colorado School of Mines next season. Was at Eastlake High School last year. And that's low for ball 3.
No reason to swing here, I think. 3-1, obviously Grothin's first batter of the day. Montano had a hit yesterday, can swing a good bat.
3-1 in there for ball 4, so Montano does his job, and he is aboard and back to the top of the lineup with Rylan Gullard.
Like you said, Montano does his job right there, and he will instantly come out of this game for a pinch runner in the form of Isaac Watson. Montano comes out, Watson comes in, and Watson can blaze over there at first. Kind of just built like a beanstalk over at first.
Now batting.
Watson can run, so he will pinch run for Montano. Rylan Gullard will step to the plate. He's 1 for 3, a sac fly back in the 3rd that scored the 2nd run of the game, and then singled back in the 7th to continue his 15-game hitting streak now to start the summer. And that'll get past the catcher Pods, and Watson will go to second base.
I think Montano could have done that as well. That just gets right by Pods, and easy bag for Watson. Now a runner quickly in scoring position, and this is the part of the lineup you want up with Gullard, Dule, Hellner rolling the lineup from here.
Still a 5-9 deficit here in the top of the 9th for the Sticks, trying to make a miracle comeback. Off speed from Grothin, misses high for ball 2.
So 7 pitches from Grothin, 6 of them have missed the zone. Fish Sticks probably just waiting for their pitch right now.
Watson dancing over at second. That off speed does find the zone for strike 1. So Gullard hit .329 at Linfield University. Teammates with a couple of guys on this Fish Stick roster. He's in the transfer portal. We expect him to be in the Division I ranks this season. 2-1, another off speed up high for ball 3.
And you can see Gullard's approach is about as conservative as it gets, because Grothin has fallen behind 3-1 in 2 counts in a row. Missed to Montano in this situation last time.
Grothin delivers. Big hack from Gullard, who misses, and the count fills up.
Gullard realizes that is in the zone and got a fastball right down the pipe, just a little late to the party, and a big pitch for both Grothin and Gullard right here.
Here's the payoff, taken the opposite way. It's going deep for Kai McGarry, who's going to set in the track, and he'll make the grab. So Isaac Watson will tag up and go to third base. But, man, that ball was hit pretty deep from Gullard, but that's out number 1.
About as close as it gets out there. McGarry almost tripped over on the wall out in the warning track, and a pretty good piece from Gullard, and it gets some carry with the win, but just short for making this a 2-run ball game. Watson does advance, but that's a big out for Grothin in a 4-run game.
Grothin gets his first out, trying to close out this ball game. Still a 9-5 lead for the Sox, as Jackson Dulé will come up for the second time. Off speed, catches the outside part of the zone for strike 1. That might have been a little generous.
Yeah, you think? That is just a big-time extension out there, and that has just been a trend both yesterday and today.
Tried to do the same thing, but misses far more outside for ball 1. Dulé came in for the injured Riley Sonoy and grounded out to second base, or grounded out to third base, excuse me, back in the 7th. That's outside again for ball 2.
I like this from the Fish Sticks. Make Grothin come to you. Gullard made Grothin come to him and almost lifted one out of here opposite field.
2-1 count now to Jackson Dulé. Isaac Watson over at third base. Off speed, up in the zone, a 3-1 count.
Third straight batter in as many batters for Grothin that he's fallen behind 3 balls and 1 strike. If I'm Dulé, I'm probably taking all the way right here and letting Grothin come to me.
1 gone here in the top of the 9th. Here's the 3-1, is low in the zone for ball 4. So now Dulé, a lot of speed, is aboard at first base in a 1st and 3rd scenario. That'll bring up the dangerous Evan Hellner, looking to inflict some damage, and a mound visit now coming from the Sox. And boy, the tying runner now is on deck, and Jake Rolling, if Evan Hellner were to reach, and Rolling has 2 doubles today.
This is the closest this game has felt since the 3rd inning, and the Fish Sticks, I said it earlier, but they've kind of just been lurking in the background of this game all day. And obviously the AppleSox have been in the driver's seat ever since that 6-run 3rd, but it felt like maybe the Fish Sticks would have one last push at some point in this game, and now you've got runners on the corners, 1 down. The best part of your order coming up. The time is now for the Fish Sticks, obviously down 4 in the top of the 9th inning, but they've set themselves up well.
So Levi Grothin came in to try to finish this thing out, walked Rodrigo Montano to start the inning. Isaac Watson came in to pinch hit. He reached second on a pass ball and then reached third, tagging up on a fly ball. That'll bring up Evan Hellner. This one's down the right side, and that'll get through. Isaac Watson will score. Jackson Dulé rounds third base. Evan Hellner continues to stay hot with an RBI single, and suddenly the tying run is at the plate with Jake Rolling. It's a 9-6 ball game.
I don't know how that ball stayed in fair territory, but it did. When the bat's hot for Evan Hellner. And like you said, the tying run is at the plate with 1 out. This game is just, the tension has come out of nowhere here in Wenatchee.
AppleSox fans a little bit cautious right now. Jake Rolling steps to the plate, takes a look at ball 1. You can feel a little bit of unease here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. The Wenatchee AppleSox, after beating the DubSea Fish Sticks 24-2 yesterday, starting to feel a little bit of momentum from the Fish Sticks side. Here's the 1-0 that finds the zone for strike 1. Rolling a double and scored a run back in the 4th, and then did the exact same thing back in the 6th. The first one was down the right field line, the second down the left field line. Here's the 1-1 outside for ball 2. Braden Bartholomew waits on deck. Evan Hellner with an RBI single. He's at first. Jackson Dulé walked. He's at third. So 9-6 deficit still, but just one gone. Tying run at the plate. Here's the 2-1 from Grothin. Finds the bottom of the zone for strike 2.
You can see Rolling maybe didn't like that call the most, but that's been a strike all day, so it stays consistent.
Grothin looking for a big out right now. 2-2 with one gone. He delivers outside for ball 3.
I think that's just a bit wishful from the Wenatchee crowd here. That ball definitely missed outside, but it has been expanded to that part of the zone all day.
A walk here would send the winning run to the plate. Here's the 3-2 upstairs for ball 4. And just like that, Braden Bartholomew comes up with the bases loaded. He's the game-winning run.
He's the go-ahead run. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Go-ahead run, that's correct.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves yet. But, boy, this has been out of nowhere. Obviously, we've got someone in our camera shot right here who's been very calm all game, and it's just uneasy. You said it perfectly. Uneasy here in Wenatchee right now.
Top of the 9th. 9-6 lead for the Sox, but the Sticks have the bases loaded. First pitch to Bartholomew in there for strike 1. The Sticks tied it up at 2 apiece back in the 3rd, and then 6 runs in the bottom half of the inning from the AppleSox has made it feel like this game has been out of control. But right now, the Sticks are right in it. Second pitch to the at-bat, lined right at the third baseman, looking for 2, and it's safe. He dove back to third to try to catch Jackson Dulé lacking. That was Jake Overstreet who made the grab, and Braden Bartholomew. That is just so unlucky. He pieced that ball. That would have been extra bases had it gotten through. But a diving snag from Overstreet at third base. That's the second out.
Boy, I thought Bartholomew had extra bases right there, and with rolling speed, that might have tied the game if it got through, but a heck of a play by Overstreet, and Dulé barely gets back and keeps this game in the balance. But Vaughn Lowe, the last chance now.
Ooh. So Lowe will foul that one off for strike 1. That is a huge swing in momentum. Had that been just a foot more to the left, that would have been extra bases, and that would have cleared it with the speed that Rolling has at first, but suddenly there's 2 gone. Still a 9-6 lead. Vaughn Lowe takes a look at ball 1. So Levi Grothin has been shaky coming in to try to finish things off. It was a 9-5 lead before a run came across. Now the bases are loaded. The Sticks trailing by 3. Vaughn Lowe, the go-ahead run at the plate. Another one fouled back. And now the Sox are 1 strike away.
Vaughn Lowe's been really good with 2 strikes in recent games, and already has driven in a couple runs. He has come through in a lot of these spots with runners in scoring position this summer.
1-2 now from Grothin. 2 gone, 1 strike away. Grothin delivers outside for ball 2.
That would have been really bad timing for the last pitch of the game. We had someone walk right through the shot over home plate. I would have been heartbroken if that's how this game ended on this stream.
2-2 with 2 outs. The bases are loaded. The Sticks are down 3. This is their last gasp. Grothin, a deep breath, delivers to Lowe. This one's taken foul, but hit hard the opposite way.
Really good job by Lowe to stay alive there. Just a little late on the fastball, and everything is carrying out to right field. That had some serious distance on it. Just way foul.
AppleSox fans holding their breath here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Sticks trying to rally. Here's a 2-2 swung on and missed by Lowe for strike 3. And a collective breath from the faithful here in Wenatchee. A 9-6 victory for the AppleSox. A much better job by the Sticks here tonight. But they'll drop both games to the Sox, who are at the top of the PIL, or at the WCL. And 1-2 on this road trip to Central Washington go the Sticks.
That game got really tight really quickly, especially in the 9th inning, and a really good job by the Fish Sticks to kind of just hang around and keep this one in the balance as long as they could. But eventually the AppleSox are able to put it away. Kai Twites and Beckett Turnbow were amazing out of the bullpen for this team, but AppleSox just kind of showing off their muscle down the stretch in that one, and that was a good chance for the Fish Sticks to get a great win, but a good fight after just a drubbing yesterday. And they'll go back and face the Redmond Dudes tomorrow, and then the Washington Athletics on this 4th of July weekend. And, you know, that's a really good baseball team. Wenatchee is a really, really, really good baseball team. You can't say it enough. They're probably the favorites in the West Coast League this season, and they get 2 off of the Fish Sticks this week.
So a 9-6 victory for the AppleSox. 6 in the bottom of the 3rd inning is what made the difference. A late rally, not enough from the Sticks. So as Angus mentioned, a 4-game homestand coming up for the Fish Sticks at the Friar. It'll begin tomorrow at 6:30 against the Redmond Dudes for the 5th time in 2 weeks. We'll be right there as always to bring it to you live on the Fish Sticks Network. But for Angus Strangmo and Kyle Sweeney saying so long here from Wenatchee, we'll see you tomorrow in West Seattle.